Guess I need a mic, don't I? Anyway, looks like we are live, and not only are we live, we are live in both places. It is actually working this time. I think I figured it out, finally. Also, if anybody's hanging out, you can let me know if where the volume's at. This friggin' nerd! Alright, there's somebody. You tell me if the volume's fine. I was listening, I went back and looked at one of my other streams recently and like dang, you can't hear the music at all, but like it's loud in mine. So yeah, let me know what's going on, guys. So yeah, we're actually live on the Purple Place too and streaming. So I had my bitrate up way too high apparently. I was like, because I don't understand what bitrate means or any of that stuff. So it was way too, it was just what OBS set it for, you know, when you first install it, it's like, what are you doing? Okay, well, we'll set this up for you. It was like quintuple what it needed to be, because I went and found some online bitrate calculator. It's like, here's what I'm doing, you know, give me the range. But the interesting part was over in the corner, it had the bitrate limits. YouTube has a super high bitrate they can do. Twitch had, out of like Kick, YouTube, maybe Instagram, there's a handful of things. Twitch's was the lowest. They had the lowest bitrate, or they were capped at the lowest. So, which is really funny because Twitch has their user agreement is you cannot stream at a higher quality somewhere else than you do Twitch, and then Twitch has the lowest quality. It's like, really? So anyway, if you guys see me doing this a lot today, I promise I'm not on crack. I actually got into poison ivy over the weekend. You can kind of, it really doesn't look too bad on the camera, but like it's really rashy and itchy on I got it all over my arms, which is weird because poison ivy normally doesn't. I'll get it and it'll like bubble up, but it never makes me itchy. This did, so maybe it was something else. Music and voice pretty well balanced. That's good. Pokemon music is great. Yeah, we got a whole. That's all it is today is Pokemon music. There's Pokemon lo-fi or something like that. So there's gonna be a lot of music I don't recognize. I mean, I recognize Gen 1 music and the whole first album they made for the show. May or may not have that entire thing memorized. It's freaking Squirrel. Oh, official yellow duck. It's my biggest book fan. What's up, Twice Dead? Twice Dead, I had a question for you recently, and I forgot what it was. It was something I thought you would have been interested in. Well, maybe we'll figure it out. Bitrate is how big of a packet you send, so you gotta fit the resolution frequency of your frames into it, but if it's too high, low-end users won't be able to receive it. Yeah, so we'll see if it stays consistent today. But what was happening before is, from what I could dig up and research, reading things I didn't know anything about, like it was just kind of clogging up and then it would just flush everything out, and that's what was causing all these troubles, and YouTube was like struggling to receive everything. So it says we're healthy though. Got into Moonseed the other day and got an itchy rash. Ooh, 010, do not. What is Moonseed? We're gonna have to go look that up. I thought it was a game or something when I was first reading that. Wow, is that? Okay, if that's what this is, error. What? But this is saved locally. I should be able to put whatever I want on here. Oh boy. Well, what if I do this? There we go. If that makes you itchy, my whole house is covered in it. Not really, but it's like all over the place. We got some kind of ivy that grows, and I've been clearing out the front. Matter of fact, I'll just kind of dox myself a little bit here. I'll just show you what I was doing. Let me find. I just sent these pictures. Yeah, so here This is the front of my house. You can't see it because this is like the middle of the summer when the hydrangeas just get really big. This is from a few years ago. They're like up to the roof now, despite me trimming them every year, like almost down to the ground. So I have decided to gut that entirely because it's gotten too far. It's gotten too out of hand because the hydrangeas are just getting bigger. And then I got to looking and thinking, I was like, you know, these guys are getting some really big trunks. They're turning into small trees. So those roots are they're close to the house. I was like, those roots might get under the foundation and start causing problems. So I'm like, I'm going to rip all this out. But in that down here is like ivy, not poison ivy, just some kind of ivy creeping around, Virginia creeper or something. I don't know what it is. This is what it looks like when it gets all trimmed down. And yes, that's what you call a bottle tree over there, if you can see that. But that just gets covered in ivy, and you can kind of see the stains on the house after you pull it off, and you gotta spray all that. So I'm just gutting all of this. We cut these as close down to the ground as we could, and then we're getting a sawzall, or yeah, whatever you call that thing, just cutting the roots and just uprooting that whole thing. So it'll be super dead. Got a lot of little craters in my yard now, but had to be done. And I did some, not this past weekend, but the weekend before that, took a few bushes out and it was fine. And then this past weekend I got out there and I guess got into something. So imagine Twitch's quantity over quality. Absolutely. Oh wait, I'm way behind. Ask whatever you want. Well, twice dead if I could remember what it was. 720 at 30 is pretty normal settings. Place for Twitch, but 6,000, 1080 at 6 obviously was the goal, yeah. You have to reset. Your face is saved locally. Disappointed. The one with the red berries. Oh man. It looks like decorative. I bet. So this is actually my parents' house. I'm gonna show you some white boy privilege here. When I turned, it was like a month after I turned 19, I moved out. A few blocks up the road, got a good deal on a house, got my own place, and lived there for like 10 years, I think, on my own. And then my parents were like, well, we're gonna move. Do you want to buy the house from us? And I was like, well, yeah, because it's a massive upgrade from where I'm currently living. And it's the house I grew up in, so why not? So it was not given to me. Don't be thinking that. I had to pay for it, or am paying for it. So I moved in, but they planted some kind of viney creeper thing, and I would not doubt it if they planted something poisonous. So having to undo a lot of their gardening, because they're like, well, it's not that hard to keep up with. All you got to do is go out there for like an hour or two every day. And it's like, yeah, guys, I work when I was going to work. I was like, it's dark when I leave and it's dark when I come home. Like I don't just get to go out for a couple hours every day. That doesn't work. So I'm going to undo all their gardening shenanigans. All these companies operate at a loss and eventually have to reckon with so many free streams. So limitations come in. Yeah. I timed the grocery shopping incorrectly. Can't watch, but maybe I can join later. If you're quick enough, be fast, be swift, buy popcorn. Moonseed sales, snail seed. I haven't heard of that. Are you behind or are you on top chat? Well, no, I was rambling and then not paying attention to chat. That's what I meant by behind. So, you guys are set to live chat. Because like at the corner of my eye, I see your chats coming in. I just didn't get to read them for a hot minute. The house is nice. It's a little weird. Parents selling the house to the kids. That's rare these days. Yeah, you usually don't have one to sell. Everybody's renting. Japanese arrowhead type of vine. What's up, Shadow Mane? Glad you could come on by. Ooh, this is nice. I just now realized what's happening with the chat. So I I got a little confused on the terms of service, but I think Twitch doesn't like it when you show the source of the chat. So I turned it off, but in OBS, I can still see where you're coming from, so I won't get confused. That's very nice. Anyway, what'd you say was snail seed? No, that's not what we have. I don't know. So the one on the left looks more like what we have, but you see this little diddly bobber thing going on here? How it's like trying to grab something? The stuff we have looks more like this. And it just chokes everything. Like, it just grows all up and everything, and it spreads. And like, every time we get into it and pull a bunch out, I'm usually a little itchy the next day. Or like, start getting the rashes and stuff, and it's like, okay, but it wasn't poison ivy. Or poison oak. What was the other one you said? Japanese arrowhead. Am I gonna get the plant, or am I actually gonna get arrowheads? I actually got arrowheads. Vine? Well, I see why they call it that. Yeah, fair enough. Huh. It's the sap. It's kind of gross looking, man. It's yeah. It got bad. And I left it on me for hours. So, you guys probably know this, but at least for poison ivy, I don't know if it works for the other stuff, but if you wash with dish soap, that the way it cuts grease normally, it cuts that whatever juice that these things put on you, and it keeps it from spreading. So, you know, you'll still have it in a little spot, but I didn't do that this time. You know, normally when I'm out in the yard and tearing stuff up, I'll get in, shower, and like scrub my arms real good with dish soap. I didn't do it this time, and I'm paying for it. But hey, at least we don't have... But for ivy, it's actually coated hairs of the leaf. It's an oily... Yeah. Yep. So, I was gonna say, at least we don't have that Australian plant. I forgot what it's called. I brought it up in a really old video. But I think like it has tiny little hairs that are barbed, I think. Anyway, it's like super painful and it gets on you, and like it's just murder. Japanese arrowhead is all over the American South. Oh, and in southern Chile, it's almost spread, but a wildfire burnt the first. So, we have... I don't know how you spell this. Kudzu? Yeah. You can let me know if you have this. Dang it, why is this thing tripping today? You know what, I'm gonna like reopen this. Alright. Well, wow, okay. That's annoying. So this is kudzu. It just consumes. Like, it grows and consumes all over everything. It's also called... Oh, hey, yeah, that's what I was just talking about. And it can cover native forests in a matter of weeks. Okay. Wait, you're saying kudzu is also the Japanese arrowhead? It's all over America and in Chile, it's almost great. Because that looks very different. Yeah, well, anyway, I was going to say, I remember when I was little, a kudzu was a little newer down here in the South. I might be tripping. Hang on, let's just, it's like, how bad? I know everything in the South is way behind. Okay, yeah, kudzu was first brought to the United States in 1876. So... I remember out here in the South when there was no kudzu and it first started becoming a problem. You know, there was fields that were clear as day, you know, clear as could be, and then all of a sudden they weren't. And there was so much. Everybody was blaming the Chinese, and they thought the Chinese were trying to starve us to death by killing our crops. It's like, okay, guys. I mean, maybe. But it was funny. In Spanish, they're the same plant with different names. Maybe there are different plants in English, yeah. Well, we call it kudzu here, but that doesn't, like, you can see it in the picture. That's a different shape than the arrowhead. There's actually, I feel like they've figured out a way to deal with it, because there was a place I used to drive by every weekend. It was covered in kudzu, and then I remember it being brown. It was all brown. Just dead as could be, and I think it's all finally gone. So, I think they found a way to deal with it. But yeah, man, that'll just completely consume stuff. The ivy we have isn't quite that bad, but it feels like it sometimes. It does like to crawl, like I was saying, it'll go all up the house and get in the siding, and you can just pulling out vines, just super long. So, called fire and root. Yeah, well, sometimes it's a little close to the house to be using fire. And it you know, on the telephone poles too. That's what it likes to crawl up. So they killed it at the source somehow. I don't know what they did. But anyway. Squirrely man, it is I. So I found this thing just yesterday. You know, every now and then YouTube will feed me something like, hey, here's this productivity thing. Here's this mental health thing. They store energy underground in the roots. So yeah, shoot the root. So I saw one. It was just like a little 5-minute video or something, and he was like, this new trick helped my ADHD, blah, 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 blah. I was like, okay. I went in it with doubts, like I normally do. And then she was just like, try this and see how it works. Keep a sticky notepad, and whenever thought comes in, write it, put it on wherever you can. You know, like if it's like, oh, I need to do a thing, you know, write it down. So I completely consumed a pad of sticky notes yesterday and had to go get more. It seems to be working though. There's like, I have sticky notes. I'm running out of space, honestly, for them. There's so many of them. But it's pretty satisfying. Whenever you get something done, you pull that thing off, boom, in the garbage. Japanese arrowroot is kudzu. Japanese arrowhead is another plant entirely. Oh, arrowroot, arrowhead. I'm sorry, I can't read. But the names are different in Spanish. Gotcha. Did they all say nuts? No. No. It was just like when I'm working on a video and it's like, oh crap, I need to reach out to so-and-so. Sticky note. Working back to the video. Oh wait, I need to reach out to this other person for this. Sticky note. Oh wait, I need to send, you know, it just, that's how I am, you know, you just think about 10 million things at once. So, but yeah, I have sticky notes all over here, all over here, all over here. They're about to start going up the monitor too. I have a dozen slapped on my work desk. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can make a blank spot on my desk over here, and I was wondering, it's like, is that what I should do? And have like little card thingies or whatever. So, figuring it out. See, that's you got wires going everywhere. That is something I learned about myself when I got into this working at home thing. Well, not even working from home. So like, I was in manufacturing, and I've had jobs where I've had to keep up with a lot, and take care of a team and everything. And like, I even ran a whole shop at one point, and we did very well. Like, I was always on top of my stuff. I was super organized. The shop I ran, when we make the year I ran it, we had the budget we were supposed to hit, or you know, our not budget. That makes it sound like we're spending money. Our profit for that year, what we hit that, and then $1 million extra. So, which was a lot for that company. I mean, that's a lot of money, period. But you know, like a drop in the bucket for some. But yeah, we were $1 million past what our goal was. Well, it's like, okay, you know, I'm on top of this. And then, excuse me, when I left my job and was like, I'm gonna go do my own thing, I quickly realized I could not keep up with anything. Like, I was just so scattered, and I was like, what the heck's going on? Like, I've always been, you know, the guy at work who was on top of his stuff and had his crap together and was always poking other people and reminding them, like, hey, you know, we're waiting on you, or following up and all this stuff. Howdy from work. What's up, man? I ain't seen you in a while. Imagine kudzu covered in moose. Ooh. Wish you needed to reach out to people. I mean, hey, you got your newsletter thing. Explains the kudzu in caves of... I don't even know how you say that. So the sticky note video, the person wasn't named 3. No. So anyway, yeah, when I got on my own here, and I was like, man, it's like, I know I'm trying to do too much. Like, I'm really trying to cut back, because I was trying to do way too many things that were beyond humanly possible. But it's like, I know it's not just because I'm at home, because there was 1 year during COVID that I got to work remote, and I got even more done than I had ever done at that job. So it's like, I know that's not it. It's like, why is this so just a catastrophe? Hey, you know, went and talked to some folks, got some testing done. They're like, oh, you may have this, you may have that, blah, 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 blah. So I had to make a lot of changes, been trying to find little tips and tricks, and here we are. We're still figuring it out. A lot of it's just, hey, stop trying to do so much. Maybe don't try and do 10 different full-time jobs at the same time. So, trying the sticky note thing. It works. It's pretty satisfying. Notebook with attached pencil works better than the note app on my phone. Something I should be... Yeah, that's the thing. Like, and because I was in manufacturing for so long, I'm like, okay, everything has to be efficient. It has to, you know, OCD or whatever, right? I got to be able to track all these things, do this stuff. You know, it's all got to be in the same place where I can access, eyes on it all the time. Blah 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 blah. You know. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Like, if you have, like, I got a little pad over here writing stuff down. Like, I've had to go more and more physical, because it does help when you just, like, make a note, you're gonna do the thing, it whoop, just goes away. Whereas you write it down, like, it gets it out of your head, but you remember it. Bro, same. I'm so good at manager stuff for someone else. Worthless for mine. Yeah, isn't that weird? Like, I get super overwhelmed super easy. And what happens is it's just a freeze. So I'll sit here and I'm like, okay, I need to make a video. Like, and I'll start thinking of an idea for a video, and then actually, here's a better example that you'll understand better. Planning a one-shot. When I think about a one-shot, I don't just think, oh, I'm going to run a game for friends and then ask them if they're available. No. I'm thinking, okay, I have to make a map. What asset packs am I going to use? How big of a map? How am I going to make this 2 hours? I got to go get tokens. Where am I going to get tokens? I got to come up with stat blocks. What system am I going to use? Do these people even want to be on stream? Am I going to... Like, it just... And then I don't move. Nothing gets done. So I'm just sitting there, and I get caught in the loop. And then I'll think of that wall of what ifs and what abouts comes up, and then one of those will restart. It'll make its own wall, so you just loop and loop and loop and don't go anywhere, and it's just like, oh, and then the next thing you know, a couple hours has gone by and you haven't done jack shit. So Oh, man. A rich old woman won kudzu because you can make tea with it. That's a lot of tea. The old Harrigan died and almost got out of her garden. It burned down with her house. Wow. Working in a specific workspace can really put your mind into different... That, too. And that's the thing. See, like, when you're at work, you're stuck. So that's why a lot of people are more productive, because they can't... I mean, you can go goof off, but it's not like home. I just pronounce that as cud, because anything else is madness. Also glad to be back hanging out. So, yeah, man. Glad you're hanging around. That grind set. Just use your autism for money. I wish I could do that. The big thing for me is that I can't choose between two things of equal value. Literally paralyzed between red and blue if it doesn't matter which. Yep. It's having someone rely on you. It flips the switch in your head. That too. But I will also say, if when you're at work, at least in my case, even though I was juggling a lot of things, like when I was running the shop, or I had a team I was keeping up with, or just a lot of projects that were under my command, my belt, whatever, everything was in one lane, and they all had to single file, even though it's like they were all coming at you at once. It's like, okay, I'm here for 8 hours or whatever. I am one person. I can only do one thing. So when 10 people had 10 hot projects that just had to be done, I was just like, sure, whatever. I mean, get in line, take a number, and then I would go to somebody above me and say, like, hey, this is not my problem. You get to decide what is and isn't important. Like, give me the order of importance, and then I'll start at the top and just do. So everything is in one lane, I feel like, versus at home. And when I say at home, I don't mean just working at home. I mean doing your own thing, like I am. I got the YouTube channel. I'm writing books. I'm trying to make videos, work on games and stuff. So, like, you're coming from all angles, and I can't just put them... Technically, you can put them in one lane since you're still just one person, but, like, everything keeps creeping up, and it's all my responsibility. I can't just pawn it off on a superior and say, hey, no, this is your issue. You get to decide. You get to make the call. And unfortunately, everything had, like, kind of tail into last week, everything needed done at the same time. So it's like, well, crap, what do I do? And that's when you get overwhelmed. Like, ah! If I'm driving on my own, an hour is a struggle. If it's for someone else or there's a passenger in the car, I can drive for Yep. Keep a quarter on you to make those meaningless choices. That's a good idea. Or some dice. I may have used dice before. Continuous flow and hierarchy is great for me too. What you're talking about with focus, that's why I decided in my apartment that I only sleep and store stuff in my bedroom. Everything else is in the living room. Sleep much better. That's good. See, I have... And I know this is a bit of a luxury. My dad and my brother are both tech guys and do a lot of computer stuff, so I get a lot of hand-me-down computer equipment. So, not the one we're on. This is the first one that I have bought brand new. And y'all, I got it at the kind of the tail end of last year, if y'all remember. I had a little funny bit at the beginning of a video. Me and Glee both got new computers because she was using one that I had for like 10 years, and it's still kicking. Like, it's a good computer. And I had just recently, my brother had helped me build one, and Windows 11 killed it. Like, it still ran, but it was so slow despite being super new. But Windows 11 just killed it. Windows 11 is trying to kill my laptop too. But all that to say, I have extra computers, so having a desk over here with a computer that I use just for writing, it's so stupid. But if you do something like that, it does get your brain in that mindset. So when you sit down at that station, you're like, it's time to write. We're writing. We're here to write. This is what we're going to do. We're not going to play games. We're not going to think about games. We're not going to do video edits. Which is so annoying because a computer can do all of it, right? So I have this computer that I'm on. It's It's my workhorse, so it can do all the video editing, which means it's also really good at games, and it's what I play games on for streaming. So it's like everything's done at one station, and that kind of stinks after a while. Get a popper or some other fidget thing, you don't have to throw or drop those. Hey, I got a couple. Look at this thing. You can like, it's a cube, and then it's not, and then you can just like fold it around. If y'all watch the streams where I'm like playing games, ttrpgs and stuff, I'm usually messing with something. Oh. Gear shift, yeah. Shift gears. And I've heard lights can kind of do the same thing. So if you are at one desk, like if you just have the RGB nonsense, so like blue is work mode, red is wind down mode, you know, whatever, and that can work too. When I was heavy into game dev, unplugging my internet until I could articulate why I needed it was the strat. That's good. See, and that's the thing. I think a lot of people, actually I don't think I know, because I've talked to a lot of people about this. They think when they have to, like what you did, like I unplug the internet, they think they're weak for that. Especially like when they're trying to break a bad habit or something. It's like, no, the make the bad habit more difficult to do. Like, that's how you get out of it, and like that's how you maintain your focus and stuff. But a lot of people, they'll be like, oh, I should have better control than that. And it's like, but you don't. So put it out of existence. Make it to where you can't do that. A D12 ring dice could also work. Being divisible by 2, 3, and 4 allows you to make choices between 2 things, 3 things, 4 things, 6 things. So yeah, man. I love D12s for that very reason. Did you hear? Capcom allegedly wants to bring Mega Man back out into the spotlight as a main franchise. Well, I don't know about a main franchise, but I heard that there's like one coming out in next year or 2028. Star Fox Legacy Collection. Ooh. I'm not going to hold my breath for a decent Mega Man game, because the last couple X games were so bad. And then Mega Man 11, I couldn't even play it. I tried. I have it. And I was just like, this sucks. So I don't know. I would love for it. Kind of would love for it to exist, but at the same time, in my mind, like, that series stopped. It came to an end, and it's X5 really is where it ended. Like, that's where it was supposed to end. And Capcom was like, no, 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 no. Well, if you like Star Fox, there's another game coming out. It's not Star Fox legally, but it's essentially Star Fox. It's some other company making it. Trying is the worst thing you can do. So uncool. Yeah, man. How dare. Do what you gotta do. That's right. Change one bad habit for another. I stopped puking after eating when I started smoking. Well, I don't know what to say about that one. Or even just a little bobble with a shaped bottom for a D12 side to fall into, just so you don't gotta throw it. Yeah. So speaking of dice, let me show y'all this. Mega Man Star Force. Okay. I have not played Star Force either, but I have seen that thing coming out. The time gimmick was fine, but I was like really struggling, and then I got to the point and it's like, okay, maybe I'm just bad. Like I've lost my skill over the years. And then I kind of got looking at it and realized like the hitboxes were super off, like really wonky, and I was like, that's why this feels so weird. Like, okay, so just go fire Mega Man 2 back up. I just didn't like it though. Let's see, dice. Oh, wait. No. Hang on. I lied to y'all. Let's see. Is it? Here we go. Well, that's not... There we go. Okay. So I got this thing. And you can like make it a green background so it looks super cool when you're rolling your dice, but six-sided spinny dice, much fidget, very spin. The oldest die is a D4. Knuckle bones, our very first dice. You know, I might have known that. Maybe, I don't know. But anyway, I wanted to show y'all this because I was, of course, adding D12s. There we go. Look at all the D12 shapes you got here. That's wild. Look at that. I mean, some of these are just silly, but like the 12-sided barrel, a crystal, and then you kind of have the diamond pyramid shape thing with 12 sides. Like, that's super cool. And this seed, I don't know. Some of these would be really hard in real life to see what you actually landed on. But some of them are really cool. Like, oh, I was just gonna try one. Where was it? Oh yeah, what is this weird thing? Like, what kind of die is that? Like, it's a weird die. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. So here's the crystals. So, like, that's kind of hard to in real life. I mean, in this, it lights up what the actual number is, but you know, in real life, you'd be like, okay, it's on this side. But I like these ones. Like a D10 with 2 extra sides. Dang it. I wish this little tool had better control. I keep thinking I can move the camera, but I can't. And every time I click it, it just, yeah. So. And then there's this weird guy. Like, look at those weird things. Hey, 12, woo! It's weird. It's weird. But here's some regular D12s. Dang, I'm rolling good today. I was definitely better at Mega Man when I was 10, but yeah, you can tell the level is entirely different people. I'm all for spiritual successors, like Shovel. And that's the thing, right? I wish these companies would just let a game die, or better yet, send it off with a bang. So like Mega Man X5, that should have been the end. It's like, hey man, we wrapped up the story. It's done. We had a good run. We ran for what, 10, 15 years, and we made a ton of games. So let's, and then just make something else. It can be a very similar control style. It can be like, okay, yes, this is just the new Mega Man. But that's when you can try the new things you want to do instead of completely changing what a series has been, you know, pissing everybody off and causing all this drama. It's like, nope, let's just try something new. Nobody wants to do that anymore. What app is this? This is called Sophie's Dice. You can get it on Steam, you can get it on itch, itch.io. There's a couple other places you get it. I think it's just $5. It was on sale on Steam for $2.50, so I was like, hey, I'll try that. So I can do this. Let's see. If I do, there we go, because I already have the chroma key on. There we go. Then if I crop that, then ideally, oh, those are green dice. I'm filtering those out. Let me not use green dice on a green screen. There you go. That's a terrible roll. There's a 12. So yeah, we can make dice from our streams. Very cool. Why did my music just stop? It's just the rain sound effect now. I wonder if they got hit with a copyright thing and had to cut that out. There we go. That was weird. There's a legally distinct Fat Princess coming out soon, and I couldn't be more hyped. Let's see. I missed some. I remember the fireball dice set. A bunch of D6s in the shape of fireball. That'd be cool. Does this tool allow for uneven numbered dice? So you can put whatever you want on the dice. You can change each face to be what you want. And... well, yeah, when we were scrolling... I'm sorry. That's the wrong thing. So there's 12. So you got a D1... because why not? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Only 2 for 19. 20. Got a lot of D20s. No, 21. You have 22, 24, 25, 6, 8, 30, 32, 36. Yeah, you got a weird set. If I just hit done. But see over here, now that's kind of hard to see, because I have it all keyed out. But you can see where you can change the faces. Like if I just, oh, I won't. Can I not? String. Okay. Boo. Ha! So there you go. You can do whatever you want. Things like that. And then I think you can even put a little image on there, maybe? Because I saw other dice that had designs in them. And of course, you know, all your colors and textures and stuff. So, pretty neat. That pink one you're showing, I got one like that in a sharp edge set. It rolls fine, but it's weird. I have a D4 that's a rectangular box with points on either and roll much better. Very nice. D16 always feels like they're missing between 12 and 20. 5, 7, 13s. And DCC, yeah, they use all the weird ones. They want the name recognition. They could start a new story with a different character in the that too. Yeah. And that's what I don't get about Star Wars. Like, it's such a huge universe. There's so many different things you could be doing, but they keep, you know, Jedi everything. Let's see. I lost my spot. Zoki dice? Not the right spelling, I know. I have no idea what that is. Zoki dice are fun. Use them in Dungeon Crawl Classics. Also still waiting for Mega Man Legends 3. Dude. I played the one on Nintendo 64, which was... that was Mega Man Legends 1 and 2 combined, right? Like... and that's a good example. Like... that was not a Mega Man game, but it was at the same time. Like, you looked at the cover, you look at any screenshot, and you know, okay, I am not getting a normal Mega Man experience. And it wasn't the same Mega Man you were... it was very clearly like this alternate world, other things going on. And they just used the name. I don't think they had to use the name, but I would rather them take a whole new route like that and you just call it, you know, like Mega Man Legends. That was a super fun game though. I really liked it. Let's see. I don't know if we'll ever get a Mega Man Legends 3 though. Wrote that name down on a sticky note. Oh yeah. Rain. Yeah, there was like little rain sound effects on the thing. I don't know if they're even coming through. Kind of quiet. I flinched like an abused dog. Ah. Why? Did I do something? Oh, when we reach 6, 7. Oh, man. The only time I encounter that 6, 7 meme is when something like that when somebody points out how awful it is. I've never, thankfully, legitimately seen anybody like really doing 6-7. What are we doing? Nothing really. We were talking about dice. Here, let me roll you some dice, please. I'll roll some dice just for you. Whee! Look at there. I got an 11. All right. Boop. What shape is it? I see clusters of 3 lozenge face. That would actually be super useful for unique dice designing. I only encounter 6-7 when nephews complain about it, and then adults lean into it to know. Yeah, and that's what I heard. Like, the kids were doing it, and then very quickly the parents learned they could do it and just annoy the crap out of their children. So I was like, hey, that's pretty funny. But anyway, so that's dice. I don't know if I'll ever use it. I've been using it for like just piddling around solo stuff on my computer. I will say, guys, since you're here, I'm cheating. I had notes for today. I need some title ideas for the next video. So I am finally done with this video that I've been working on for like the past month. And it's about this guy reached out a while back with a game called Adventuring Family. And it wasn't just a, hey, TTRPG review. We played it live over Christmas, during that time, I think, or close to. And it's a game both for parents to help, communicate with their children and teach them life skills like a little cooking, or, let's get your homework done. It's gamified learning, right? But it's like super boiled down TTRPG, Dungeons and Dragons, things like that. But it's also used for special needs, like, and we're live. I don't care. Y'all know where I'm coming from. I don't know the proper politically correct terminology for things. So is ADHD special needs? I don't know. But what I'm getting at is it's to help with things like with ADHD, Asperger's, autism, all that good stuff. Divorced parents, rough home lives, things like that, all kinds of learning disabilities. And he's trying to get it, maybe not that game specifically, but the idea of it into the counseling realm and therapy and everything. And he has found some success with it. And by success, I don't mean he's making millions of dollars. Like he's, this gamified learning and therapy approach is becoming a thing. And this video gets into that. So like I said, it's not just, hey, let's talk about this one specific TTRPG. It's like, no, let's talk to the guy that made it, why he made it, what's going on. And then I did interviews with a professor of neurology. I talked with him, talked with this lady named Dr. Powell, who is a education therapist with specialization in ADHD and something. And then I talked to your MHLSP, I think is what they were called, and then the guy who made the game. So it's a long video because we're talking about all this stuff. But I need a title. I need a title for the video. Catchy title. I know I could just latch onto the ADHD part, and that would probably get me the views, but like, I really hate to do that because that's not just what that is one tiny thing of what it covers. Regarding sticky notes, I actually have whiteboards on the wall at home for notes design stuff. Super handy. We have a younger player in our RPG group that finds 6-7 fun. Just get stuff. So on the whiteboard, I have a big thing over there. It's like plexiglass, just a whiteboard. When I get super stuck in a design being maybe a TTRPG mechanic or a story that I'm writing, a scene that I can't quite figure out, or designing a one-shot. If I get super stuck, I go to the whiteboard just to start scribbling notes. It works every time. Counter meme tactician. Spoilers! Yeah, I know. I'm spoiling the video. Look, the video is like an hour and a half long. It's a long one. I spent a month learning to talk to children and you won't believe what happened next. It is special needs where you're from. Okay. What are we working on today? Oh, a blank screen at the moment. I'm just yakking. Peter, I need a catchy title. I don't know when you came in. For Adventuring Family, where we talk with all the counselors and therapists, because it's like families, brains, ADHD, ttrpgs, you know, what do I don't know. Need a fancy title. Everybody wants to talk to the squirrel. That's all right. I'm here all day. Look, hey, Glee is out of town this week. I'm just chilling. I'm living it up. I have already consumed one pizza so far. That's not true. I think I have consumed a pizza and a half at this point, so it's all good. Looking at dice, now we're talking about a title of a video and a game designed for a game made for gamified learning. Can ttrpg heal child brains? Is your child broken? We can fix it. ttrpgs and unusual brains. Adventure fixing the struggle. Pizza's nice. Pizza is very nice. Let's see. ttrpgs, brains, and families. Like, it's a super cool concept what he's doing. And it was very interesting to get to talk to the professionals in the field, and that's not how you spell families. And to see how much games have actually come along as far as education and everything is concerned, whether or not they're bad for you. TTRPG, adventure fixing the struggle. Ooh. Does your diet nosedive when Glee is out of town? Mine sure does when this is a sheriff. Not really. Actually, it gets better. Because we never know what to do for dinner. And the way I am, it's like when dinner comes around, it's like, all right, I'll find something in the house to munch. Maybe some fruit or something. Peanut butter sandwich, whatever. But when she's here, I'm like, well, I gotta get her some food. And she doesn't like fruit and peanut butter sandwiches like I do. So I was like, all right, well, let's go get something. So, when she's gone, I do better. Your brain on TTRPGs. The game that gives children a voice. But see, that's something we talk about in the video, Crabsoft, is that this whole gamified learning and everything, not just for kids. So, you need some sleep. No sleep. Zoom in on our frying pan. It was full of dice. Glee's gonna see us one day. Measure your words. Yeah, no. Oh man, she's out on the other side of the country where Peter's at, actually. They were too far apart though. They weren't gonna try and meet up. What was it? There was one. TTRPGs and unusual brains. Oops. I thought there was... No, maybe not. The game for idiots. 6-hour drive. Yeah, that was unfortunate. She wants to hang out with Mrs. the Sheriff and do artsy things. Alright. TTRPGs, brains, and families. So you gotta... TTRPGs, ADHD, autism, families. What? The spouses shall meet one day. Well, see, we'll drag them to a... Here's what we'll do, Peter. Here's what we'll do. We'll drag them both to a con. And then we'll both accidentally forget to buy them a ticket. So they can go off and do whatever while we're at the con. Big brain. ADH, done with your bullshit. I like that one. Can't do it, but I like it. ttrpgs, ADHD, autism, families, and you. With a 6-hour drive, I could reach more than half of Germany. That's true. That's true. Just abandon them in the city. Big brain. I mean, not abandoning that. If they just want to hang out in the hotel, they can. Or if they want to go out, hit up some museums, they can do that. They're not abandoned. I mean, take a Gen Con, like where I stayed at. It was right there, you know, downtown. You just walk around everywhere they gotta go. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. When I was a wee orc, there was a counselor I would see sometimes and talk while playing with Legos. This idea of expanding communication display is a tried and tested. Yeah. Yep. It sure. And that was kind of the interesting conversation. See, I was talking to these folks and they're like, oh yeah, man, this works wonders. And then, you know, we see it more and more and more. And then one of the people I interview is actually a friend of mine that I have known for 30 years. And he is counselor and he grew up with me down here in the South. And he's like, yeah, I don't see this ever down here. It was all new to him. Fighting mental struggles with gamified tools. Ooh, that's okay. Fighting mental struggles with gamified tools. I agree with it, but I know that would probably make some people mad. They're like, it's not a mental struggle. ADHD is my superpower. It's like, come on now. And I will say, this is going to be a hot take, but like, I really dislike the YouTube channels that focus on ADHD things. Because I feel like they all end up preying on people with ADHD, intentionally and unintentionally so. Because like, it's kind of easy to get distracted, right? And if you have it, you're looking into that stuff and you get your hopes up and you're like, oh, and then how they end up preying on those people is because YouTube is the way it is. You have to keep making content. So these people that focus on ADHD stuff end up producing content that's not needed, but technically still focuses on the topic. So then the people that are trying to focus more end up consuming more videos. You know what I'm saying? It creates a vicious loop. ADHD experts agree. TTRPGs can work as therapy. Not on your own. You gotta go to counseling. Roll for growth. Adventuring. Ooh. Roll for growth. Adventure. That's a cool one. When I was a young teenager, I was with my family in Washington, D.C. They wanted to go shopping, but they knew that I would hate it, so they just dropped me at the Museum of Natural History, and I roamed the halls alone for hours. Those Germans just bringing their kids over here and letting them wander. Terrible. There's a guy on YouTube that used D&D specifically for some therapy approaches. Like, it works. But I'm saying, and it's something we talk about in the video. It's like, hey, you're not the counselor. Don't try and counsel people at home with this tool. When you use this tool at home, it's just for raising children. If you have bigger issues, go to the counselor. The Natural History Museum in DC is great. The lady with the fish song helped me understand what is always been wrong with me. Yeah, that was nice. Offense is just a skill issue. I agree. Autism has done me far more bad than good. Yeah, so that's just kind of... I've seen some people on the old YouTubes and, you know, their TED Talks or whatever and try and say, like, your ADHD is a superpower and everything. It's just like... know. Like, it might help with some things, but it's still hindering other things. So. I'm gonna get canceled talking like this, though. Homeschooling for nerds! That's the big reveal of the video. I tell everybody I was homeschooled. And then everybody's gonna be like, oh, that's what's wrong with him. It all makes sense now. And then in the first 10 minutes of the video, I call out my parents for being terrible parents. It's gonna be great. It's gonna make for great dinner time conversation that weekend. Believe you me. I didn't actually say they were terrible. I said we had a lack of information at the time I was growing up. And my parents did the best they could. I met enough people with ADHD to know that it is not a superpower. Yeah. It's... And there's something to be said about, like, the connection between ADHD and survival instincts, you know, like being hyper aware of all your surroundings and stuff. And that might be true, but that's not the world we live in anymore, which sucks for the person with that issue. But, like, you gotta survive in the modern world, right? If you're ever in Los Angeles, we have an excellent natural history museum. It being so variable for each person really contributes to that. That too. That's the other thing. Like, and that's also what makes it so hard to work on and do anything about, is every brain is so different. So we're still kind of shooting in the dark, I feel like, for a lot of these things. ADHD is a superpower, and so is having constant executive function. Yeah, like, that's the thing. It's amazing when you see somebody who's like, I'm gonna go do a thing, and then they go do the thing, and you're like, but how? How did he do that? It's not fair. I was homeschooled until high school. Going to public school is definitely a shift. Whoo! That was a heck of a time to start going to school. I did kindergarten in a private school, and that was it. I was homeschooled 1 through 12. My dad still calls it Asperger's, still tried his best, even if he really doesn't get it. Yep. I would say it's not Asperger's anymore, right? It's just all autism, so. Which is kind of funny knowing that I probably got it. Considering the current global state, I won't be leaving Europe anytime soon. Chicken! You chicken. You big old chicken. So anyway, that's that. Y'all didn't even know we were on this board that we had last time. Let me save that. Hey, there's your food from last time, Blaze. Alright, I never heard back from this guy, so either I got totally ignored or I went to spam, so we'll put a sad face here. That's a shame. But this is on the docket, whatever. We got Dave, Dan, Peter, and Wes. We're gonna do a Bashkim interview, and it's gonna be on May 17th, which is a day after my birthday. It's gonna be a birthday Bashkim bash. Your Italian ramen. So I send you a photo of what I'm eating now? Might as well. That seems to be the new trend for these streams. I just need to make a little section in the corner. Blaze's food for the day. Brother has finished a bunch of college classes pretty lazily. Just makes plans and does them. I can't even imagine setting out to do something and just doing it. Yeah. We can't all be like Peter, right? Just have this plan and follow it for a year. I want to see the Rocky Mountains. Some fossil hunting would be nice. Rockies are pretty nice. Spaghetti with smoked tofu bologna. Bruh, that sounds gross. Tofu bologna? That's like using fake meat to impersonate fake meat. I was in your picture of what do I mean, but it's always oatmeal. The Bashkim book, the Ben's birthday Bashkin book bash. There you go. Yeah. Very cool, very cool. I'm excited, because, like, the point of that stream... How do I say this? I don't want to be Shadiversity, essentially. I'd like to think I have a long way to go before I get that bad, but, you know, I make all these videos about storytelling stuff and what I think is and isn't good, so... It's like, time to put myself in the line of fire. You know, if I'm going to be putting other people in the line of fire, it's like, okay, I wrote something, let's get people that I hope will give me honest opinions about this. And, you know, like, let's talk about the things they didn't like, thought could have been better, the things they did like, what worked, what didn't, you know, and just go from there. Just put myself, like I said, in the line of fire, too. You're excited for the round table? Me too! Until people start saying bad things. But see... I was telling somebody, I think it was Glee, I have a way out. Every time you guys say something bad, you're like, well, this didn't work, or I didn't like this, I gotta be like, well, see, the book never got a proper line edit, so that's a line edit issue. It's my excuse. Please don't be Shadiversity. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. See, when you have this artistic eye, like me, dude, man, he picked some strange hills to die on. Fake meat squared, yeah, that's what it is. Used to live right at the foot of the Rockies. Ooh, man, worth the trip. I agree. Finding those beta readers, yeah. So speaking of books, the next one, I have a chat with somebody. Well, today's Tuesday, right? I have a chat with somebody tomorrow. This is a second chat, really. We've chatted, been emailing back and forth, got some contracts set up, and the goal is September when that one will be done and ready to go. Obviously, that probably won't happen because that's a lot of time between now and September, and life things can happen when we've already agreed, like, hey, that's not a hard deadline. The quality comes first before meeting that deadline. So if something happens, you know, but the goal is September. So we'll see if it happens. I'm super excited to get back into it. Excuse me. They're called beta readers because I, as author, am the alpha. You know what? I like that. We're gonna save that one. I like that. Call the bit a critical critique to get the ttrpg crowd. There we go. The critical critique. Bologna sauce. Oh, not bologna. Never go full Shadiversity. Boy. If that ever happens, man, y'all gotta, like, take me to the side or something. My defense for every complaint is just, you know, it explained in the deep lore, but I didn't want to overwhelm. Tastes great. It was one of the office favorites back when I used to cook with them before they fired me. Well, it must not have been that good, Blaze. I'm just kidding. That was mean. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, I see the RGB keyboard in the background there. Man. Looks good. I've been enshrined. It's the next in series with Bashkin. So, if you will notice, so like title, super generic font, and then under that it says Kesho Knight Legend. Kesho Knight Legend is the universe name. Most of the stories I want to write all take place in that Kesho Knight universe, which we're actually going to talk about tomorrow on stream. I'm going to do a little Kesho Knight work. They all take place in that world, but every story is standalone. So if you haven't read that one, totally fine when the next one comes out, because they're like 1,000 years apart, have nothing to do with each other. They're just in the same universe. You will recognize some names here and there, maybe mentions of events, but you will never be left without if you haven't read another one. Now, if you have read other ones, you might get little Easter eggs and stuff, and a bigger understanding of the world as a whole, but you will never be left wanting, I guess, for more information, unless you're just interested and want more information. Bolognese. It's like spaghetti looking thing. Normally tomato carrot, but mine is with smoked tofu. Also, tofu is not fake meat. It is tofu. If you are using it like meat, I don't like tofu. I'm not like vehemently against it, but it's not for me. I don't, soybean. Nah. True legends and episodic. Yeah. Current background music wants to make you catch them all. Well, that's all of the music today. It's all Pokemons. Oh, I need a cool thumbnail too for my Bashkin Bash here. There's also a lawnmower going outside. Hopefully y'all can't hear that. It's that time of year. I swear. So like, these people right over here, their yard is super duper small. They'll mow it for 2 hours. It's like, dude, it should take you 10 minutes. Use the alpha quote. Good. Need a high def version of it. That would be funny though. Let's see, what else we got? We got the titles. Oh, I have a convention this week. The Blue City Comic-Con. It's gonna be in Memphis. This is the first time they're doing it. So it's the first con. I can't. So, you know, I've been saying for the past few years on YouTube, it's like, yeah, there's never any conventions around, or I don't ever get to go to anything. And then they're like, convention, here you go. So that's what I'm doing this weekend. And they're gonna have, let me see, I can pull this up. Blues City. This is who they're gonna have there. You know, Ron Perlman's gonna be there. Oh, they just added him. He wasn't there yesterday. James Murray. I kind of want to go ask this lady, since she was in The Mandalorian. It's like, was it worth it? Was the money worth it? I'm going because they're going to have the OG Turtles voices there. And April O'Neil. And then randomly the April O'Neil from the first live action Turtles movie. Couple Power Rangers. I know this guy's work. Yeah, he's been in a lot of stuff I've watched, but I don't actually know him. Courage the Cowardly Dog, I guess Scooby-Doo. Couple wrestlers. Oh, I guess these are some comic book artists too. Alright. It's a super impressive lineup for like a first time convention. It's gonna be big. Giga Chad Scrap. What's your fave Pokemon? Oh man, Bulbasaur. That's my man's. He carried me through that game. Squirtle is really cool too, because it's like, it's a squirrel and a turtle. It's like my two favorite animals, right? But for some reason I went Bulbasaur. That's my pal. And I actually have, oh, he's not back here anymore. I have a little jade looking Bulbasaur thing. It's pretty cool. Have a hammer coming down and boom with the catching. They're bringing the hammer. Oh, on the book with the caption. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Problem is, my book cover is like just white and black. Are you finally going to play at a table? No. I am saving that for EcclesiaCon, which is at the end of April / beginning of May. And the first game I'm gonna play is nuts. It's only fitting. Never completed a Pokemon game outside Pokemon's. Man, Pokemon Snap was so much more fun than it should have been. Like, it's like, oh, it's a video game where you take pictures. It's like, whose bright idea was that? Shit was so much fun. I loved it. I think what made it so cool, though, was that up to that point, your experience with Pokemon was Game Boy, and, you know, super limited graphics, and you just really saw them on the battle screen, and they just, you know, they weren't doing anything. And then this came out, and you got to see them in their natural environments and interacting with each other, and it's just like, oh, you know, it was wild. Who cares if you were taking pictures? Like, you were getting to see it, and then you could, like, interact with them by throwing the Pokeballs and snacks and stuff. So it was awesome. Ironically, mine is Pachirisu. Is that one of them new ones? Is this the one everybody like tries to make hot? Oh, no. It's not the one I was thinking of. Goulder or Golder or whatever her name is. I mean, that's a cool looking little dude. He's like a little squirrel. How do I... Look at that guy. I approve. I approve. Charmander was the obvious right answer. Little raptor. He was pretty cool. Me and my brothers got unreasonably competitive about Pokemon Snap. Pokemon's too much nostalgia. That's Salty Nick. What's up, man? What's your favorite Pokemon? Gardevoir, but I think she's written different. Yeah. It's the green one. I mean, some people. Some people. I'm itchy. So, the Blue City Con. I don't think anybody's around for that one, but if you're in Memphis, there it is. I will be there this weekend. Both days, probably all day. Not your favorite. I just want to make that very clear. Oh, man. You know what we could get into, since we're here just hanging out? The only Pikachu competitor that fit, you know? That's a good point. Poliwag's last two evolutions. Those are pretty good. And see, this is... Kyogre. I don't know anything past 151. And this is such an interesting thing, too, right? Like, what? OG... Damn, that's scary looking. So, like, there's just something about that that is so much more interesting than this. And I wonder if it's because newer designs are just too perfect. Like, you know, everything's so sharp and crisp, and then when you see this, it's like kind of messy, and I don't know, man. It's something I have thought about multiple times. It's like, why was I so interested in OG Pokemon? Like, as a kid, like OG Pokemon, like I was there, man. I was in it. It was just super interested, and you know, you only had like 2 pictures of each Pokemon. Like, you had a very limited thing, right? You only got to see them from so many perspectives and angles. And then when the second one came out, Gold and Silver, I was just immediately, like, I went out and got the game because I was excited to do it all over again. It's like, oh man, there's going to be like 100 new Pokemon. I didn't give 2 toots about it. Like, I got it, fired it up, and was just like, me. I was like, I was not interested in any of them. I don't know. It's interesting. There are no laws against the Pokemon, Squirrel. Are you using Calidral? No idea. Oh, for Poison Ivy. I have something. Honestly, I was fine this morning, so I didn't put anything on, and then it got... As soon as I hit the live button, it was like, hey, let's itch. The move... It's like some kind of Benadryl thing you can wipe on there. Helps it. The move from artist to graphics designer. Yeah. Maybe. I don't know, man. It's just... One guy doodling a creature, one guy formulating members. That's a much better way. Yeah, that's... It's like the sense of wonder just left. And yeah. And I mean, obviously, 151 is already a lot of Pokemon to make, even if some of them are like iterations of each other, but it's still a lot. And then having to make 100 more like each game or whatever. They put silly things on them to keep them from being cool, where the OG ones were straight up kaiju off. Yeah! Newer Pokemon also gave us things like I am a litter keyring fairy. Yeah, instead of badass tank water tortoise. I agree. There is a literal bag of trash Pokemon. I know that one! Kaiju aesthetic is peak Pokemon. Yeah, I kind of lost interest after 3rd generation. Tyranitar and Lugia stand out. And that's the thing, like... I thought the birds, and the OG, Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres, you know, fire, water, fire, ice, lightning. These 3 mythical birds. It's like, that's super cool, man. And then the whole Uno Dos Tres thing. It's like, aha, I see what you did there. So clever. You know, all that was super neat. And then the Mew and Mewtwo lore and backstory. It's like, super cool. And then the mythical birds / Mewtwo's of the 2nd generation. It was just like, yeah. It's just so uninteresting. Later, Peter. Nidoking with some primo shit. He was pretty cool. Gen 1 had literal puddles of mud, Grimer and muck. Yeah. Have you ever looked at the original designers of Pokemon games where Red had a whip and... No, I haven't seen that. I just got in the Skinny Mini Monster Trainer's Handbook. Kind of makes me want to run 5e again. Oh! Gen 5 is highly underrated. I don't even know which one that is. Muck is baller. Their take on 5e legally distinct Pokemon. Skinny Mini Monster Trainer. There's like so many 5e Pokemon things. Skinny Mini Monster Trainer. Did I spell that right? There it is. Catch, battle, evolve. And that's some... On my way home from Gen Con, you know, it was like an 8-hour drive, and I had a lot of time to think about it. And I was really trying to wrap my mind around what made Pokemon, OG Pokemon, so fantastical and so wondrous that pulled me in, and why has nobody been able to replicate that? And I can't figure out. Like, it was such a magical thing that I just wanted more of as a kid. I'm a simple pirate. I like dragon Pokemons. Oh, hey. So you like this guy? Let me find him. This is the dumbest looking thing. I already played Pokemon and I was mad when I saw this. Yeah, what is this? What is this nonsense? Look like some AI junk or something. Wings out of his head. Originally, you were going to capture and sell the Pokemon by force. So you were Team Rocket. Eevee and his evolution. Eevee's cool. Yeah. I do like how you have that one Pokemon that can just, with the stones, go any route. That's super cool. Getting all the minis for all the evolution is a strong pull. Did you watch the show before? No, I played the game. So here's what happened. And I still have these. Nintendo Power, the magazine. At a certain point when Pokemon was coming out, they released Pokemon Power. It came with your Nintendo Power magazine. It was just this little tiny thing, and it was all about Pokemon, and it had a comic in the back. So it was 6 magazines, and I read those things front to back 100 times over. And the comic was the first season of the show, or like part of it. So I had seen what was going to be the show. I think this is the order of events, and then the game came out. Or was it the game and then the Pokemon Power? They were super close together. So I played those and had the Pokemon Power. Played the game, had the Pokemon Power, then watched the show. Not Mega Drive, it hurts my soul. Mega Dragonite was certainly a choice they made, wasn't it though? Eevee is the elf of Pokemon. Oh, look how they murdered my boy. They did, man. And like, Dragonite was the only dragon type in OG Pokemon, and it was just like, why? Why have this type and only one? And then he's not even that special. Like, and then they made Gyarados a dragon type later, right? Nidoking, Politoed, Poliwrath, and Mawile, Mega Mawile. I don't know that one. They really poured a lot of money into that marketing effort to make sure kids got... Yeah. Not a lot of IPs do the work on that. Headwings are pretty common in Japanese. Are they really? That's so weird. Japan's nuts. Oh, I don't even want to look at it. Well, okay. You know what? Let's be a little more fair here. Instead of Venusaur, let's put let's get OG. I don't feel like that's OG art. Where's my OG Bulbasaur art? You think if you typed in OG Bulbasaur art, you would get it? Well, here's a big one. So it's just more interesting, and I don't know why. But like, if you let's get modern Bulbasaur art here. I guess this is modern? I don't know. Looks a little more modern. I will say this Bulbasaur is still more interesting than this, but this is still way more interesting than both of them. And that's so weird. I could not tell you why. Just seeing that, I don't know, is it because it reminds me of 90s and early 2000 art, and you know, that was super cool back in the day, but, or it still is really. Is it because it's too clean, you know, too crisp? You know, see, you look at these little spots on him, and they look more random. Whereas on here, it's like, oh, it's conveniently dead center with this little symmetrical pattern almost on the elbows. Maybe that's what it is. It just doesn't look like, I know this is not a real creature, but like, it looks like it could be. I don't know, man. So weird. Headwings. Mega Gyarados is dark in water, but is Gyarados... Isn't he a dragon type? Didn't they fix that? Like maybe even in Generation 2? He was like dragon in water, I thought. We got some specific memories of that Nestor comic at Nintendo Power. I think the first 151 had decent story joke behind them. They had a reason. Yeah! I mean, you still had some that were like seal. It was just a seal, right? But yeah, it seemed like more effort went into them. And that I can excuse, because like I said, after 151, it's like, dang, dude, that's a lot. And you got to do 100 more. So... You kind of... The well runs dry eventually. Look through the latest set and try to find one you don't hate. You also have very modern take. Oh, do I? Was he an older one? I have no idea what generation he's from. So let me find Atchirisu OG art. Okay, that looks infinitely better already. So maybe it's the polish. That's just it. That looks way cooler than this thing. I mean, I get like that's more like a 3D model, but you had to let me know if that's the OG art or not. Oh, look at this guy. Oh, that's somebody else's artwork. Anyway. Let me catch back up here. I like head wings. Where else would the Seraphim have their wings? They have to cover their face. So head wings, back wings, and some Hermes ankles wings. Anime Bulbasaur. Downgrade from 2D sprites to 3D models was a terrible thing to see. Yeah. But see, like, but Pokemon Snap, that was super cool to see them. Because they were still kind of in that dirty phase, I feel like. OG Pokemon were... Oh, animals. Newer art has turned them into mascots. Yeah. Merchandise, as somebody said earlier. Very simple anime art is simple. OG Bulbasaur looks like a Venom type, not the newer. Top one has far more detail. Gyarados is flying in water? I could have swore they made him dragon in one generation. Up to Gen 4 designs were pretty good. We took a nosedive in 5th and we haven't recovered. Might also be childhood bias. My Gen Pokemon had more animal-like, unless silly Pokemon like Jinx. Yeah. And that's definitely part of it, but even... I feel like even now, when I see an older cartoon drawing that I've never seen before, I still have more interest in it than I do with newer polished things that I haven't seen before, if that makes any sense. But there's definitely some bias there. It's like, because I lived it. Bottom Patchy is slimmer with a longer neck. Or has a neck. Put it that way. That guy ain't got one over there. The bottom, the 3rd generation just makes them all look plastic. Doduo is my least favorite Pokemon to this day. Oh, poor Doduo. Gyarados Dragon and Mega Evolution form. Okay, alright. No, I'm just tripping, I guess. Wisp is on the money, like toys rather than pocket monsters. Yeah. 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 Got lost in thought. So is there a site? List of Pokemon? Can we just go look? Well, I can't type list of Pokemon. I had to redo that like 4 times. Alright. Let me zoom in for y'all. Okay, well these all look terrible because these are like their little 3D thing. Pokemon database. I want the OG art, man. There you go. If you click on it, you get it. Well, mostly. Oh wait, there was an additional artwork button. Aha! There we go. Man, he's looking like a frog over early Sugimori artwork. He's like a toad. Might prefer traditional. Well, there's definitely some of that, but like, there is, I've seen people do, using modern tools, try to replicate the 80s or 90s style of cartoons and stuff. And it's super cool looking. But like, it's still digital. And you can tell it's digital, but they're still, like, of course, we will reference the 1986 Transformers movie. That had, you know, that where metal always has that shiny streak and then just pitch black shadows on it. Like, I love that style. And I've seen people replicate that in the digital media, and it looks super cool. Because, see, like, you can do this digital, but still make it look like it's not digital, if that makes any sense. Probably making artists cringe everywhere, but... Bro, I would take a full team of nose passes over what? Why do you hate Dodo so bad? I think that Gyarados can learn Dragon Rage anyway, right? Yeah! Looking a bit stoned today. He really is. Like, that's a great picture of Bulbasaur. Ah. Look like he looks Kanto. Homie's gone. Can't watch modern anime. It's so uggo. It's so uggo compared to the yeah. Well, I remember, you know, I saw this years ago. Somebody just like posted a GIF somewhere, and it was just comparing hand-drawn, hand-animated stuff to modern. It wasn't even modern at the time. Now it's super not modern, but it was digital. So like, all the motions are so calculated and crisp. And like one, they put two Simpsons side by side, and it was the same scene, but one had been digitally remastered. And it was Marge turning around, and her hair does this whole thing when she turns around, whereas in the digital remaster, she just turns, and everything's so stiff. And then another one was 101 Dalmatians, and like, dude's trying to put on his jacket, you know, he's talking, he's got his pipe, and he grabs his coat and puts it on, and there's just a small detail of him trying to find the sleeve. It's like 2 seconds of detail, but they had to animate that, and you know, it looks so natural and so alive, I guess, versus, you know, a digital version, it would just be hand and sleeve. That's what I was saying about OG Bulbasaur here. Like, he looks more alive, like more lived, you know. I'm used to using the term more lived in, because, you know, from writing, like when you're trying to set up this world and your world building, like you want this to feel lived in. That's one thing Bethesda is super good at in their games. All the little caves and stuff you go exploring, things look lived in. So, which is, you know, really makes a world feel alive. And you know, it's not that artists have gotten worse at their job. It's just production is so high. It's like people, the powers that be don't care about that. Like, just get it out the door, get it out the door, get it out the door. You know, who cares about the details? Excuse me. Truly a grass Pokemon. Unironically, I hate him so much. You keep scrolling. Because of Pokemon Snap, he runs out and stops your car and makes a Dodo dumbass sound. Third Bulbasaur. Oh, that's pretty good. The animes I like aren't even well drawn. They're mocked for being so bad, but the texture is just different. The OG Trigun looks fantastic. So, Netflix did the Netflix thing and did a new Trigun, and I have no interest in seeing it, but I will say I saw a clip where he like, what's he do? He throws something up and shoots it and it explodes and he like shoots all these other things. It was super cool looking. Vash's new design was absolutely stupid looking, but the way they animated that, I was like, okay, that was smooth. That was pretty cool. Original Kin-ass art was sketchy in watercolor, which just great. Reminds me of the immaculate Studio Ghibli backgrounds. Passing handmade knowledge, hand animation knowledge, generation to generation taught dynamicism. A lot of those skills are disappearing. You want to see a case study on exaggerated motion? Watch the Dover Boys cartoon. It's almost got the animators fired. I'll have to look into that one. Between hand-drawn anime and digital and the OVAs of a Yokohama Kadashi Kiko. Did I say that right? So anyway, this is Gen 1. Look at friggin' Venonat. And I will say, as a game, Pokemon Generation 1 was absolute dog crap. Like, there was no reason to use anything besides your starter Pokemon, which was so dumb, because he does all these cool things, and you don't use any of them. I still tried to make the perfect team. Little kid me got the paper and pencil out. I was trying to figure it out. And I had an Alakazam. I had Venusaur, so that's 1. I had a Beedrill, that was 2. I wanted Sandslash because he's so freaking cool, but I didn't have room for him. I had Machamp and Alakazam. Who else did I? Oh, there's Dodrio. Did I have Gengar? I don't think I did. That's like the only ghost type too, isn't it? Who else did I have? There's one more I'm missing. Right? No, wait, no, you can have 6, not 5. I'm missing 2. I might have had Gyarados. I don't remember who all I had. I have to go dig it. I still got my game. I gotta go pull it out. It's somewhere. Nuzlocke are so good. Yeah! Yeah, I like the Nuzlocke. Those are cool. I set one up and tried it for like 10 minutes and was like, that's super cool. I think I got a really good roll and got... Is Tyrannosaur that big green thing? Like, I started with him and was just wrecking everything. I was like, okay, I'm probably not supposed to get this lucky, but... it seemed like a cool idea. Dodudee's nuts. Now we know Scrat has friends, because you need another... No, I had a brother, and I had the blue version, and he had the red version. That's how we did it. What's up, Buttercup? What's up, man? Swords and Stones. Charizard, Pidgeot, Pidgeot. He was on my team. Pidgeot, yeah. Pretty sure he was, because somebody had to have Fly. So that'd be 5. I tried to cover all my bases. Like, I had the graph, you know, with the types and everything. I was like, all right, I gotta cover all my bases. And my kink was Alakazam and Beedrill, like, because, you know, you could one-shot. It was for Pokemon Stadium when I was really trying to take this seriously. It's like, Alakazam was also super good against Beedrill. Or, like, I guess Psychic was good against Bug or Poison or something. And Bug was good against the Psychic. They were both good at each other. It's like, all right, whoever goes first wins. Because it's going to be one shot. Sounds like a randomized. Oh, is Nuzlocke the one? You're right. What's Nuzlocke? That's when you get locked into your first 6, right? Is that how that works? Or when they're gone, something like that. In terms of human Pokemon competitive, Flareon is the best Pokemon for hugs. Sure, man. I don't know about that, but sure. Flybot. Fly was also great for punishing Lance for Hyper Beam. First game was Crystal. Oh man. Generation 2. I wish it would say what game that was. Like, that was Gold and Silver. But see, like, I saw these starters and it was just like, ew. I owned blue first, but yellow was the one I actually beat. I also have yellow. Can only catch the first Pokemon you encounter per zone, and if Pokemon faints, you must release it. Okay, that's what the Nuzlocke is. First of every round, Pokemon can die. Yeah, okay, so it was a randomizer. I'm sorry, not Nuzlocke. You name all your Pokemon, you only get your first encounter on each round. Yeah. My man. Randomizer. Furret. Say these just... That's uninteresting. And some of these look more like they're... This looks like something I expect in Digimon or something. And yeah, I don't know what that is. That's just... For me, like I said, even as a kid at the time, they lost me at Generation 2. Like, it was just nowhere near as cool for some reason. And I can't tell you why. I don't know. I mean, Furret's probably not a good example. But that guy is just like... Yeah, I guess. Pichu. Meganium, my champion. Don't badmouth my girl. Digimon, digital monsters. Yeah, man, Digimon was cool. Digimon are the champions. Typhlosion took a bad hit in the 3D department. Ooh, did he? I think Gen 2 is surprisingly weak when it comes to... Maybe. Well, we're gonna keep scrolling. Togepi, I remember that one. Togepi. I already did. This guy was kind of neat looking. Steelix. Shuckle. Yeah, they just don't do it, man. Yeah, that was okay. Yeah, this is what I started off with in the randomizer, and it was just wrecking everybody. I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure it's not supposed to be this easy. I didn't know he was in gold and silver though. I thought he came later. Ho 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 oh. But yeah, it's like I saw this and it's just like, yeah, I'm not interested in your lore at all. That's kind of a cool pose. Those wings are like hands. Come at me, bro. Is Celebi here supposed to be like the new Mew? Gen 3 is definitely your favorite. Sudowoodo, my boy. Still think Umbreon is the best. Yeah, we just passed that, didn't we? That's pretty cool looking. As I'm scrolling through these, I keep seeing, you know, Pal World ripoffs. Or, you know, what Pal World ripped off, right? Wooper. I did like Wooper. He's pretty cool. Unknown. I thought these guys were Generation 1. Were they not? I really thought they were. Boy, I would have failed that on the quiz. Oh, and these were the new legendary birds, right? Just the little cat things or whatever. Yeah. J2 has a cat on its chest. I don't even know where that guy's at. Skipped it. Celebi with the mythical. Okay. Gen 4 gold and silver were peak, and I won't hear it. I thought Gen 2 was gold and silver. Am I like really that far off here? Unknown, Gen 2 runs without. Well. Yeah, here's Gen 3. Like, this guy does not look like a Pokemon at all to me. Hey, you gonna hate Miltank? The legendary beasts are just 3rd stage Gen 1 evolutions. Evolutions. Pretty much, yeah. Oh, they got a remake in Gen 4. Okay. The Totem Bird you saw. He's cool. Heart Gold and Soul Silver are remakes. Oh. Okay. Oh, there's like a little acorn dude. Well, okay, he's kind of cool. I might be a little biased, but you know, he's cool. Oops. Oh, I keep forgetting we got additional artwork. Not a whole lot going on for him. Oh, there's everybody's favorite. I have no idea why that this is what did it for him, but it looks like she's getting stabbed. Oh, but there it looks like wings, butterfly wings. Weird. Oops. Hey, look at this guy. He's just chilling. Yeah, like these just, to me, as somebody who was, you know, started with Generation 1, these do not look like Pokemon. I would think these are Pokemon ripoffs or something. Beautifly. Oh, how original. That was pretty cool looking. I'll give him that. But something about him is just not, does not make me think Pokemon. Of course, we had to get more Pikachus in there. What makes Trico not a Pokemon? I don't know. That's the thing. Like, maybe, I think it's more so the, oh, it doesn't show it here. This model of him super doesn't look like Pokemon. This, the art style helps, but it's still, I don't know, man. I just don't know. But it is something that has rattled my brain for some time. Scrap, this one looks tasty. That's the acorn dude. You can have your Pokemon follow you. Whoa. And 3rd gen Game Freak realized that humanoid Pokemon did something to the minds of players. Gardevoir was patient 0. Well, then they added that other one. I thought. Didn't they? It was like a humanoid deer or something. Well, we'll get to it later, I guess. Mekahuda belongs in a monster rancher. I only like maybe a dozen tops in each gen after the first. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Pokemon adjacency, apparently Neopets is still around. Sure are. Your message. Mr. Mime? That was a goofy looking dude. Where was Mr. Mime? Mr. Mime! Mr. Mime, there's the OG. I remember, see that says early work, but I'm pretty sure that I have the player's guide, the OG Pokemon Player's Guide, and I'm pretty sure I remember seeing that, but that might actually be what's in the index in the back. Matter of fact, y'all don't go nowhere. Hang on. I mean, right where it was. Look at this. Look at this. Did you see people lusting after Mr. Mime donates? Look, there's... Oh, man. Falling apart. This is some old art. Okay, so let's go to the back here. Look how Misty used to look. Oh, that's what she used to look like. Alright. Now, I will say, even as little runty me back in the day, I was super against players' guides because I'm like, that defeats the purpose of playing the game. I got it. I got this purely for the thing in the back that had all their stats. Because, like, I need that. Also, look at this. I still have the sticker sheet. All of them. Can you see that? Those are tiny little stickers. It's just their game sprites. So, let's see. What's number Mr. Mime? I bet this is the art in this book. But I remember seeing this picture around in places. 122. Oh, man. Going down memory lane here. Got all their moves and stuff. 122. Oh, Gyarados is water and flying in the first one. And he learns Dragon Rage at level 25. Oh, hey, look. Okay, so see? That was him. Ah! See that? It's the early artwork. Oh, well, it says Red Blue US. Well, why is it called early work? Like, that's just what he was. Man. Ugh. Times were better back then, you know? They really were. So much better. Anyway. So I still have that. On-time music. Yeah, I was just thinking that too. Can't even imagine how valuable some folk would consider that book. I have all 6 of those Pokemon powers too. They're all wrapped up and saved. I worked with a friend on his side gig. We used to make non-safe for work information. Pokemon was a common request. I don't interact with Pokemon fans ever since. Bunch of freaks. You did the lighting. Back to work later, Kaz, Doc, Mr. Oric Man. I was always into guides, learned as much about the game and world. I liked getting the guides for the artwork. I loved consuming all that. Did multiple versions of each early on. Yeah. Yeah, well, when I glanced at this, I thought this was like early. It meant early as in concept and didn't make it. And when I saw Mr. Mime, I was like, I remember seeing that. So I just didn't finish reading. So I tend to do that a lot. Jinx. This is okay. I would say, give me the uncensored version. That doesn't sound right. I was gonna say the uncensored version of Jinx, but that sounds like something else. The non-politically correct version of Jinx. Ah. Art of Blank are always a fun read. Yeah, Glee just got a big ol' art book for Cuphead. She was happy about that. So anyway, Generation 3. Yeah, these just don't look like Pokemons. This is just a blimp. That's all that is. And like I said a few times already, I can understand, like, you're gonna tap out. 151 creatures is a lot. And then doing 100 more each time or whatever, it's like... I mean, this guy's pretty cool, like the whole DNA strand thing going on, but... it's still just kind of meh. That's a Digimon, you can't lie to me. I'm making somebody mad somewhere. What even is this stream? Well, it's Pokemon now. I told you we were just hanging out. The Gario Jinx. How just they were. Public library has the art of and making of books and arts. That's where I read a bunch. Ooh. Should have gone with like 20 new ones. Yeah, see. But everybody would have been so mad. They would have been like, oh, only 20? It's like, I was telling Glee this a few days ago. I would love to make a video game. I would love to have a team and work with them, you know, and make something super cool. But I never want to make a video game because the community is so terrible. They just complain and bitch and fuss about everything. Slay the Spire 2 came out. For those of you who don't know, Glee is a Slay the Spire aficionado. Like, she can play that game blindfolded, right? She really likes that game. So naturally, when Slay the Spire 2 came out, she got it instantly. She's already been playing it. And they released... it's in early access. And they didn't even release a public patch yet. This is... you have to go into Steam and do the beta version, like, which I find that, you know, tangent here, this is so stupid. You have your early access, which is in beta, and then you have the early access of early access. It's like, come on, what are we doing, guys? But anyway, so like, you have to go out of your way to play this version, and they released a patch or, you know, an update trying, you know, it's in early access. This is, we're just trying to figure out the balance, and it's just a slew of negative reviews on the store page for a patch that is not even accessible to most people. Like, really, guys? What are we doing? Three legendaries look good. Bullying ADH kids, uncensoring Jinx, can't get this anywhere else. This is quality content. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not bullying HDH kids, I was trying to help them. My favorite horror game is Darkwood. Acid Wizard, the dev team, said making a game was the most stressful thing they've ever done. Yeah, it's off, like, I don't know why I destroyed the friendship, but like, dealing with that community is, it's just the shittiest bunch of people you will ever meet. And I hate to say that because I know we all play video games, but like, hey, you know, you just peruse the Steam forums or anything, and it's awful. He's cool looking, but he doesn't look like a Pokemon, and I cannot tell you why. Oh boy, I bet this raised some eyebrows, didn't it? People are weird. That's kind of scary looking. Looks like a missile under there. Hey, there's dude. Oh, he's an electric type. A little electric squirrel. I never would have guessed that, honestly. I thought he was like ice or something because of his color palette. That's cool. There's a pink Lapras. This guy had the creepy lore, right? Didn't he like carry kids away? Born by the spirits of people and Pokemon. It loves damp humans. It tugs on the hands of children to steal them away. Yeah, here's the one I was talking about. Okay, it wasn't a deer, it was a rabbit. So you go from this to this. They knew what they were doing. Come on now. The Pikachu gave it away. Infernape looks pretty cool. Luxray and Petrisu. I don't even know if I'm saying those right. Did some game dev as a teen, trying to recreate and reverse engineering some of my favorite games. Like, it's fun to do, but the customer base is awful. Any sufficiently excited or large fan group will inevitably putrefy and become toxic. Yeah. But I swear the video game community is a different breed. Like, it's just... And, you know, part of the hurt is self-inflicted. When you try to make something that appeals to the widest range of audience possible, you end up pissing everybody off and making nobody happy. Whereas if you stay in your lane and you're like, okay, this is for this specific type of player, you're generally better received. Is a Pikachu, what other type would it be? That's a good point. One of them is literally a soul of trainers that died in the wild. Yeah, well, there's that one that's like a coffin, right? You should see the mega evolution of Low Bunny. They definitely did. Oh, how do you... Oh, here it is. I mean... I'd say that one's far more innocent than this one. Like, that one... Yeah, because this one's, like, sticking his butt out and everything, you know, and got the mega thighs over here. Like, they toned it down a little bit. I don't know. Assuming that's the one you're talking about. One with ripped they had ripped leggings? Oh, okay, well. Yeah, okay. I see it now. I still feel like this one's more intentional, though. This one's like I got sausage links for ears. Lowell Bunny is deliberate Playboy Bunny costume reference. Yeah, for sure. The places gamers talk about gamers are set up for aggression and shouting into the void. It isn't always like that. We used to have shrine sites. Build your anime shrine on GeoCities. I mean, see, some... You got, like, the Deep Rock community. Like, that's generally pretty good. And I know, like... Vermintide 2 is a good example of this. You have your online spaces and communities, and then you have the actual game community. Vermintide 2, actual player community, super chill. The Reddit community, super shit. Like, there was... The Reddit community vehemently hated a trait called Natural Bond. And the way Natural Bond worked, I think that was the name for it, you slowly healed over time. You just had this constant regeneration. It was super slow, but you could not use heal items. Reddit hated that thing. And like, if you used Natural Bond, you were the worst person in the world. You actually play the game, people are like, you know, you tell them like, hey guys, I'm using Natural Bond, you cool? And they're like, so? Who cares? They're like, hey, I'll carry the med pack in case, you know, you go down or whatever. But I was a Natural Bond build. I liked it. Because it allowed me to make the occasional mistake. And when you got your stats at the end of the run, I would frequently have the most damage taken. But I never went down. Never went down. I was very frequently doing the clutch, right? Where everybody else would go down because I could just slowly take it back up. Like I could not take damage for long enough to let it tick back up and then take another hit, so. Wikis are the new shrines. Reddit is recreational outrage incarnate. It's so silly. There's also a different kind of expert area. Yeah, Reddit just needs to be deleted. It's some bots anyway at this point. Helped with the lighting on Megalopony, Lucario. Is it Lucario? Oh, Lucario's like the... Matter of fact, he's right here. Looky there. Totally not Anubis from Power World. In almost every Star Dragon type post-gen too. Dang. Sick people, I tell you. Barbarian build. Exactly. Just running there. Frickin' Mutelgi on steroids. Which I think she had the least amount of HP, which made that even funnier. It's like I didn't die this whole run, didn't go down to once, and still took the most damage, and had to save all y'all. So it's like clearly Natural Bond is working. Is this like an early version of Electabuzz? Or is it just they rip off their own Pokemon? Evolution? Hey, it's a late version of Electabuzz. Got like, I ain't gonna say what that looks like coming out of his back. Magmortar and Rhyperior are just the worst. Oh, where are they? Are these the 3 elemental ones for this one? They look like it. What is this dude? Regigigigigas. Regigigas. Is that like Drowsy's nose hanging down there? What are we doing? That's a Digimon. Look at the little hedgehog dude. He's at the end. Is he like special or something? Now he's cool looking, but the eye ain't right. Oh, that's silly. Something about the eye. Scrolled past Rhyperior. Did I? Well, we can do a search. Can you spell that? Right. Oh, right. What the world? What is this dude? Oh man. Is he part of? Yeah. Wow. What was the other one? Magmortar. Oh, here, he's right here. And that's, I'm guessing, Magmar? Yeah. What in the world? Oh, jeez. Wait, he has like claws here, and then this is like a torpedo tube? I guess you got claws there. They come in and out. Another example of one run by adding a lame aspect. I just saw Glade. Yeah. She got legs now. And got a cape? Wait, that's not... Is that? Yeah. Okay, I thought it was her. Oh, you can... You have branching paths. That's the dude version. And he's got like a serious muffin top going on there. That's almost cool looking. Almost. Magmar is a freaking fire platypus and Magmortar is just in the box. Those are hips. Oh man. Alright, Generation 5. This is one Blaze liked. Oh, hey, that's another one they ripped off in Pal World. Look at this guy. Well, I clicked him. There we go. What is this? He's like got a shirt. Are Pokemon wearing clothes now? Oh, he takes the clam off. I thought that was a shirt he was wearing, and like that was... He's wearing a clam. Gardevoirs can be male or female. Gallades can only be male. Yeah. Bedtime for me. Later, crab. Feel like blasting off again. Hey, I like the Team Rocket song. We had to put silly hips on it to balance it out. Yeah. He is a small samurai. Okay, yeah. So, is it... Hang on. Oh, does he turn into this thing? Like, grows an extra set of legs? He sure does. Wow. Samurai. I do like his mustache. That's very cool. So, let's do something here. We're gonna open up a bunch of tabs here. I'm just gonna grab some randos. Oops. I might have found part of the problem. Okay, actually I'm looking at their eyes. So here's Generation 1 eyeballs. Like, that one's pretty anime-y. That one's anime-y. That one's definitely... So, like... But then you got your Caterpie. It actually looks like a bug. He's got a pretty basic eye. He's got the Pidgeotto eyes. Snake looks like a snake. And then he's got the typical triangle thing going on. So does Nidorino and Nidoking. He's got little eyes. There's Jigglypuff. You don't count. Is it the eyeballs that are so weird looking? That... I don't know, man. I thought I was onto something. Like maybe the eyes are what are so weird. Don't... Not that the eyes are weird looking, but don't fit. Like, the eyes look good on that one. They're okay on Snubble. That doesn't look right. Those are like the Bulbasaur eyes, but... Can I do... Oh, you guys can't see them. There we go. They're not quite the Bulbasaur eyes, are they? But like, say they make sense on Bulbasaur. Those eyes don't make sense on that thing. They don't look right. But like, I get, hey, kind of triangle shaped, and he's got the triangle, and then round, and also round, but it doesn't... I don't know. I'm not an artist. Ghastly eyeballs look cool. But those don't. I don't know. Let me close all these out. Where were we? Generation 4. Too much color detail on some of them, but like some of the Generation 1s had that too. Lightsaber clamshells. Let's see. Like an otter smashing stuff in his tummy. It's all weird little embellishments. I'm just waiting for you to get to Buzzwole. Oh boy. We need Glee's art Poke critique. Yeah, now see, if she had experienced Pokemon, she would probably have some very interesting perspectives, considering her background and what she does for a living, but actually it might still be interesting. It's like, hey, can you tell the difference between generations? What is this thing? Her ugly. Well, that's just rude. Where was it? We were in Gen 5. Is this guy attached to an umbilical cord? Or is that smoke coming out of his head? The mist. Okay, I thought he was attached to an umbilical cord there for a second. That bird is doing a very interesting salute. I'm just gonna throw that one out there. Roggenrola. Like a rock and roller. And Boldor, as in boulder. Now see, this is cool. This is like Geodude. He was just a rock. But these eyes don't make sense. Well, it's not that they don't make sense. They don't look right. Sleepy Incense Piggy. He is an embryo. Oh, I wasn't too far off. Oh, Hashwat, Kevin from Natural Habitat Shorts. That would be a nice little video. Can my owner differentiate between Pokemon generations? She's been wanting to get on a stream. The game is big cities, so PGM makes sense. Those aren't eyes? Oh. I thought that was his eyeballs. Are they like fake eyes? I mean, come on now, there's his eyeball. I think y'all tripping. There's eyeball. I mean, this guy is pretty cool though. Like, Woobat. Okay, this guy, I don't know about him. And Swoobat. Is it a Woobat and he's got a heart because he's wooing you? And a Swoobat because he's swooning? Is that what we're doing here? Heart shape, yeah. Excadrill. Not Excalibur. Girder. He's like a girder. Okay. Ha 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 ha. He's just gonna throw an I-beam at you. Supposed to be the Zubat replacement. Yeah. Kind of what I was figuring. See, like, I think it's something with the faces. Because all of this is okay. Like, this is cool. I kind of like the fake eye we got going on here, but this, bug in my face. And I know that's like a ghastly eye, but just this white portion. What are these guys? Is this like the Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan duo? Judo Pokemon. Karate Pokemon. Now see, these two guys are cool. And that would be interesting anywhere else. I mean, there's like this tiny little gnat flying around. But they does not seem like they go in the Pokemon world. I like how this guy just Starts with a 4x4, gets an I-beam, and then I guess pillars. Cotton. Whimsicott. This one looks more like a Pokemon to me. Swack was my man. The stripes break it up too much. Karate Muppet. They're wearing complex clothes. That's a good point. That does make it weird. But I mean, now Hitmonchan had Let me save that guy. Hitmonchan. He's got like a skirt thing going on. Yeah, it looks like he's wearing something, but at the same time, because like the way his head was shaped, these little frilly things, it blended in. You know, the shoes, and he's got boxing gloves. Like, it was weird, but worked. He was also kind of a special case, which I guess you could argue the other ones. Hitmonlee didn't have none. But anyway, this one looks like a Pokemon to me. And I don't know, is it the eyes or it's... I don't know. This one does not. I mean, maybe. I will say its evolution form looks more like a Pokemon. He had undies. But it's simple, yeah. Well, and like I was saying, it kind of blended in with his design, too. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I accidentally closed the tab. How do I go back? I don't, my back button only goes so far. Ah! Pokédex? All Pokemon. Dang it. How do I go back? Here we go. Closed the wrong tab. Yeah, whereas this is... It's like a whole other layer on top of him instead of being part of his design. But like, I can imagine another game where these two things are like on opposite ends of the map, or you know, kind of hard to find. They're little legendary things. Like, it would be super cool, but not a Pokemano. History? I could have done that, I guess. It's pretty cool looking, dude. This one needs like the basic eye, I think. That triangle one with the black pupil or whatever. I think that would have been better. This is... Is that an early version of... No, I thought that was like a parasite or parasect, whatever it was. Bug and Rock. It's cool. I like that guy. He's cool. I see you in the chat, Blaze, but no. Oh, my favorite Pokemon. He's a cool crocodile. He's something. He got a snout on him. Yeah, parasect without the fungus, but it got a rock instead. Cool design, not Pokemon though. It's like a different type of monster game. This guy just looks like a... Hey guy. Gosh, what was this old game called? It was just called Croc. This is what it reminded me of. That's what it reminded me of. It doesn't really look like him. Legend of the Gobos. Doesn't really look like anything at all, but it made me think of it. Okay. Punk Pokemon, yeah. The shades are well designed. They're clear what they're. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, that's cool and everything. It just does not seem like a Pokemon. Maybe because he's like almost too humanoid-like. Like I could see this guy getting around, knowing how to manipulate things with his hands and maybe even saying something to me. Like he's bordering that Mewtwo element or whatever you want to call it. Whereas, you know, Pokemon, I think of creatures that are part of the world. With the occasional weird one. And then, you know, it's like you just have a straight up coffin, or a sarcophagus, I guess. They swallow those who get too close and turn them into mummies. Yeah, there's somewhere they started doing this weird thing. It was like, hey, Pokemon are creatures, but also random objects. Which, that would be a fun whole other world. It's like where all these creatures have learned to imitate various objects. That would be cool. It says grin. That might be it. Will you do a fantasy creature style of nuts? You could play as creatures similar to this, maybe forest rangers trying to keep things. Would you do a fantasy creature style? You mean like a module? Because nuts is just a generic rule set. Does Gen 1 have objects? I'll say birds, bugs, snakes, rodents, more bugs. I mean, Diglett might be an object. But see, like, here's like, that's about as, okay, maybe this is like as humanoid as you can get almost, and it doesn't come across that way. I don't see no objects. Okay, Voltorb is an object. That's scary looking. Muck is not an object. He is mud. Geodude is a rock, I guess. Do the magnets count as an object? That's kind of neat looking. What is this guy? Like a slime. Enveloped in a special liquid that can survive in any environment. Oh, boy. What are they doing over here? Gothorita. Really? Oh, look at this dude's pose, just. That pose says something. I like it. That looks more like a Pokemon to me, too. And here's the ice cream. I don't know about that one. Look at this guy. This looks like something out of a Kirby game, to me. It's like one of the enemies you would fight. If a magnet is not an object, what the heck do you get? Nah, they had magnets. They weren't just a magnet, were they? Or am I misremembering? This is a cool looking dude. That's a Pokemon. Portable snack. You eating your Pokemon? That's a Pokemon. That is also a Pokemon. That's a gear. Where is Magnemite? See, they were like multiple objects that came together, right? You got a couple screws on him, he's got the one eyeball and just this metal disc, and then like magnet hands instead of a singular object. He was a pile of junk, and then they all come together. What was it? Clank? Is that where we were? What is this, dude? I guess. I don't know. That's cool looking. Very sharp mustache. Hey, hate food emojis and multimons in principle alone. Yeah, this guy's like a cool design. Man, I would expect to see him like in Kingdom Hearts or something. Again, not a Pokemon design, I feel like. That's a Digimon. This is a Kirby bad guy again. A Celigor, there must be along my mace. Did I? Oh, there he is. It's edgy. Is that what he's doing? Is he like crossing his arms? Got the cape or the scarf blowing in the wind? Shelmet. That's a funny looking dude. Bouffalant. That's pretty good. I like that guy. Oops. Oh. He does not evolve. That's why we didn't get anything. Bouffalant. Oh, man. Now, see, that makes me think of bad guys from Bomberman 64. Like, these are all cool designs. Well, some of them are cool designs, but they don't look like Pokemon. That guy's pretty cool. That's a Pokemon. That looks like a really dangerous Pokemon, too. That's a Digimon. Alright, I guess these three guys are the big three. And then you have these guys. It's just like a person. And then you have this guy. What's going on here? So you got like, are these not the three legendaries or whatever, mythicals? This legendary Pokemon battled against humans. So what are these goobers? You get 2 sets of legendaries, and then 2. Well, you know, from the different versions, right? The main 2. But then you got all these too. There's your new Mew. That's a Digimon. Now, I might actually know the lore. Isn't this a Team Rocket experiment? Before I scroll down. Bomberman 64 was so darn good. Bomberman 64 was awesome. I still listen to that soundtrack. Genesect. Yeah, for like I don't know if I can say that on stream. YouTube might ban me. They started adding more trios and duos. Oh, okay. 4 mythicals. Can I not count? Let's see if I was right. Over 300 million years ago, it was feared as the strongest of hunters. It has been modified by Team Plasma. So it sounds like I was a little bit right, but mostly wrong. This ancient bug Pokemon was altered by Team Plasma. They upgraded the cannon on its back. Okay. Team Plasma. I thought Team Rocket just straight up made it. So they modified it. And that opens up a whole can of worms. Like, oh, we can have human modified Pokemon. That's a whole other game. Is that how Blastoise got his cannons this whole time? Generation 6. What is this? That's not a Pokemon. Is his ears fists? Oh, that is legs? Okay. Ditto and Mewtwo are also man-made. Ditto's man-made? I know Mewtwo was, and that's what made him so interesting. Like, he was cloned and then genetically modified. Like, that other purple thing was, it sounded like they just Frankensteined him, whereas Mewtwo was grown. Surely not. I think they did, Mark. Genesect, the generous insect. Failed new clone. Well, he wasn't failed. I think it came out all right. So actually, y'all probably know this, but I watched a video a while back, and it was all the stuff they cut out of the first Pokemon movie. Like, it was pretty dark. So, if I remember right, Mewtwo, when they were making him and growing him in his tube, the reason this project existed, because the guy working on it, I lost his daughter, but like had her memories and was trying to figure out how to remake her. Something like that. So this fake world that Mewtwo was living in while they were growing him in this tube, he was hanging out with a Bulbasaur, you know, the basic 3, Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirrel, and the daughter. And then I think the scientist killed himself, or maybe he just quit or gave up. I don't know. But like, Mewtwo experienced the same loss that scientist did. With all the, like, he was hanging out with the daughter the whole time in the basic 3 starters, and he lost all of them because that scientist boss made them shut down that project and like focus on Mewtwo and make him a weapon or whatever. So like, that world Mewtwo had was taken from him, and then that's when he got all angry and stuff. So it's like, holy crap, like, you know, Mewtwo had a really gnarly upbringing. Oh man, the one Twitch viewer we got, top viewer, streamboo.com. Why do we even? Possible ban evader. Oh, well, he's getting banned, let me tell you. How do I do that? Block, report. Can we report him for terrorism? Wow, that's pretty extreme. How about just spam? Jeez, calm down, Twitch. It's a bot. This shouldn't be that hard. Can we just ban? There we go. Banned. Okay. Good job, Twitch. I also liked how in the Japanese cut, Mew and Mewtwo aren't representing good and bad, but rather just 2 different supremacists. That wasn't cut out, but added after. Did they really? Added afterwards? The girl died because the cloning was imperfect. That's okay. He didn't forget it all because it was a dream. All right. Either way, it was like pretty dark, and that was not the cut I saw when it first came out. Physically connecting in his, or psychically connecting in his sleep. Okay. But it added a lot to Mewtwo, and I was like, oh man, that's and we lost all that in the original release. Here's Greninja. I played him in Smash. He's super cool, but like not Pokemon, I don't feel like. I don't know what makes the old ones Pokemon. There's just a freaking sword. Or two swords. Double blade. Oh, dub blade. That's okay. This guy's cool looking. There's a barbaracle. Oh, his head is a hand. And he's got an eye over here and down. Wow, okay. That's not creepy at all. What is this guy? Does he... Oh, that's it. A tree. What is... That's just... He's just doing the... How do you say that stupid bird's name? Okay, it's a little different. But they're doing like the hand thing. I thought it was almost the same pose from it. But his tail is also a hand, so it's different. Okay. Man, it just keeps... That's just a toucan. Toucanon. Does he shoot? Meowth translated some, but it was altered. Oh. Mew just muted. Mew. Didn't the English dub remove all of Mew's dialogue? Yeah, well, at least in the original American theatrical release, she certainly did not have any dialogue. Computers from Porygon. What? There's a little mosquito-looking thing. I don't know, guys. I didn't know this was gonna be a Pokemon stream. I feel like it's what we've been doing most of the time. Sneasler. What is going on here? Generation 9. Looks like a car. Looks like the Batmobile. Varoom. That's an engine. That's like a half a motorcycle engine. Oh, somebody was waiting for me to get to that one, weren't they? Arrived at the presidential Pokemon? Oh, is that what we call it? Oh. Just copying their own homework. Yeah, how dare they? What is this guy? Like, what is this weird flaming snot bubble he has coming out? It's like a bird? What's going on there? Oh, that's kind of weird. They're like grass and dark. Okay. Water and fighting. Fire and ghost. That's kind of cool, honestly. That's not a Pokemon. Don't skip past Buzzwole. Where's Buzzwole? Did I? Was he in the previous generation? What? kind of breezed past these. Dottler. Toxtrist. He died. Where'd he go? Okay. Oh, that one's cool. Well, his page is a little broken. Gen 7. Oh, man. Wow. Dude is swole. Heck yeah, man. He just as is. Species swollen Pokemon. Oh, man. This is canonically not a Pokemon. Ultra Beast. This Ultra Beast appeared from another world. It shows off its body, but whether that display is a boast or a threat remains unclear. A mysterious life form called an Ultra Beast witnesses solid pulverize a dump truck with a single punch. Hey man, this dude's awesome. I don't know what you're talking about. Out there, it's an alien to this world, and a danger here. It's apparently a common organism in the world where it normally lives. Just a whole planet full of swole-ass bugs. Buzzwole goes around showing off its abnormally swollen muscles. It is one kind of Ultra Beast. Oh, and then you get a shiny version. Heck yeah. What is... Are Ultra Beasts like a thing in other Pokemon games, or is this just a... Just for this one specifically? That's an Ultra Beast, and they are designed differently on purpose. Alien... See, that makes sense. Like, and that's also a super fun and smart way to bring in a new design. Like, you know, you're 1,000 Pokemon in, and you're like, we can't do this anymore. It's like, oh, well, let's do alien Pokemon. Now we have an excuse for a whole new design, you know? It's goofy as shit, but it's, you know. I like him. Obviously, it's not a Pokemon, but, you know. Buzzwole. What a lad. You know, they knew what they were doing. Look at them eyes. Look at them heels. Built like a twig. That doesn't come from anything. This one's just a freaking pillar. Rampart. Kind of cool, honestly. It's like a walking birthday cake right here. Fireworks. Guzzlord. That's terrifying. Like arms coming out of its mouth with mouths on it. Ah! And then in Gen 9 they did Laradox Pokemon. Ultra Beast sounds like they belong in Yu-Gi-Oh! They don't sound Pokemon-y at all, nor do they look it. But like, good lord, that Stinger's a cannon. But it's like, it's a cool creature. Like, I can see a whole series, game, whatever, off of these type of designs. Would probably be pretty comical and funny, but She got those pheromones. And then Generation 8. Huzzah. Foot. Edgy gecko. Well, it's like a squirrel. Heck yeah, look at that. Cheeky Pokemon, he sure is. Greedy Pokemon. Corval Knight. That's pretty cool looking. Like that's a scary creature. Yeah, I feel like he should be like a legendary one. There's a teacup. I don't know how they didn't get sued by Disney for that one. Imagine Disney and Nintendo duking it out in court. Good lord. Sir Fetched. Oh man, did Far-Fetched finally get an evolution? Wow. It's like a sharpened. Is that a green onion? You know, that's creepy. I was gonna say, okay, do these guys seem odd because they don't make sense? Like, why would a bird have a sword and shield? But let's go all the way back to G1. Do these guys look like they would live in the wild? Blastoise with cannons? Maybe not. But like bugs, that makes sense. These little creatures make sense. Birds, rats, snakes. Maybe that's what it was. These seemed like they were part of the world. And you could see them surviving and functioning. Alakazam's a little weird. Machop, Machoke, Machamp. That's kind of weird creature to have in the world that likes judo chopping. Alakazam would be just freaking scary to have. But like, it's just a horse. This is some weird thing. Maybe that's what it is. Not all of them, but... And then they just got more and more like where they just didn't make sense. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. Are we on Generation 9 or are we on Generation 8? We're on 8. Look at this guy. It's a badger. Blocking Pokemon. Naturalistic. Is that the word I want? Alakazam would be running the old library. Man, I feel like he'd be a menace to society. I saw a really cool, like, short video. It was all computer generated. I think. I don't think the people were real. It was dark, man. It was only G1 creatures. But you remember that Pokédex entry about Drowsy eating the dreams of kids or whatever? It's like this underground operation, and there's these Drowsies doing the dream thing on kids. And what happens? Like somebody knocks on the door, and it was a Hypno. The Hypno guy with the little doot 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 thing, and he kills a Kangaskhan. And it's really cool how he did it. And then there's the horrifying end with Cubone and the old theory that Kangaskhan was Cubone's mom. It was dark. It was great though. And then we got the Bone Wars Pokemon. Each pack of Pokemon probably only has the highest evolution leading the RSST2 as natural alphas. What is Cthulhu over here? Grapplocked. Grapplocked. It's like a wrestler. Oh, he is fighting. Is this just whipped cream? It is. It's strawberry cream Pokemon. That's I think they know what they were doing with that one. Mr. Rhyme. Does he evolve from Mr. Mime? What is the difference? After Mimic learned outside in color. They're both Mr. Mime. Are these just a different color palette? Oh, Psychic and Fairy Icy. Oh, that's right. Fairy was a new thing they added. That wasn't in the OG. Mr. Rhyme. What is this dude? Big mammoth. You got Stonehenge over here. Big rock Pokemon. I agree. That was a big rock. I've seen this guy. He shoots missiles out of his head. Ah. Like a, was the B-2 bomber head going on? Why not? Uh-oh. I broke it. Oh, God. Let's try that again. That is a scary looking dude. Gigantic Pokemon. 65 feet. Yeah, he's just a little bigger than average. Mr. Rhyme evolves from Busta. That was indeed a really dark animation, man. Earlier, too. Yeah, so you've seen it, huh? Yeah. This thing's from another dimension? I mean, I believe it. I didn't mean to click on him. The core on his chest absorbs energy. It was inside a meteorite that fell 20,000 years ago. There seems to be a connection between this Pokemon and the Dynamax phenomenon. But he is also susceptible to Pokeballs. Urshifu looks much better than Sock and Throw, and how natural his costume looks. What are we talking about here? Oh, that guy right there. Looks much better than Sock and Throw. Where are Sock and Throw? Are they somewhere else? Enamorous. Love-hate Pokemon. Well, the picture's not working. Ah! He's got like axe hands. There's your barbarian. The red and blue karate guys. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Sock and Throw. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, so it's like his feathers and part of them. Yeah. I see what you're saying. Wushu Pokemon. That was an angry dude. Alright, Generation 9. Bone Wars ones are right after the elephant. What, all these guys? Are these polished metal? It's both lightweight and strong. It rusts. The Pokemon rusts. Oh no. A rusty Pokemon. That's a cool design. I don't know about this little thing right here, but like that is a cool design. Super not Pokemon, but it's cool looking. Is that like a Charizard head? Maybe I was thinking of Charizard. Did they make Charizard a dragon type eventually? That because wants the head of an ancient dragon Pokemon. That's a Charizard head, man. Can't fool me. Alright, we're back to Generation 9. Yeah, that guy. Not a Pokemon. Just the 4 mishmash fossil Pokemon. That one is a tower. It was a rusty tower. Bramblegast. That's creepy. Look at this little dude with a hammer. Mega Charizard X is Dragon of Fire. I still could have swore they changed Gyarados. Also, Toad's Cruel. Ground and Grass. He goes from a water type to... Oh. I thought that was just a variation of Tentacruel. Like some weird evolution thing you could do. Never mind. Just looks like him. There's Varoom and Revavaroom. Revavaroom. Oh, man. What is this thing? Rock and Poison. What? King Gambit? Like missile hands? Big blade Pokemon. Yeah, I'd say so. He just... With his mustache, too. Lord have mercy. Oh, good Lord. This is a new Jigglypuff. I don't like that Jigglypuff got fangs. Scream tail. Is that not Jigglypuff? I thought, is this not like some Paradox Pokemon? Are these like weird versions? One reported sighting. It resembles a mysterious creature depicted in an old expedition. It's Jigglypuff. Yeah, see, described in paranormal as a Jigglypuff from 1 billion years ago. The Paradox Pokemon. Wiglet. Fake past and future. Okay, that's actually kind of cool. Where's Wiglet? Did I pass Wiglet? There's Glimmet. Wiglet! Oh yeah, that looks like a freaking bird goose head coming out. And Wug Trio instead of Doug Trio. Okay. Why not? Brute Bonnet. Whoa. Electric and ground. Hey, this is that guy. But a different version. I recognize some of these. Hey, that's that one I said that looked like a dangerous Pokemon. But this is the weird version of it. So now it's a Digimon. That's cool looking. Oh, there's Hitman. Generation 9 seems like a weird Pokemon game. Hydrapple. Sure, man. Oh gosh, there was one from Gold and Silver, right? Well, there you go. We went through all of them. And we still haven't figured out what made Generation 1 so good. Well, sorry guys. I didn't mean to take you on that 2-hour journey of Pokemon. They're primal or robot versions of Pokemon. See... If Nintendo wasn't scared to take Pokemon in a darker direction, it could be cool. You're building parts both the past and future design there, 100% Digimon. A journey of discovery. But what did we discover? I don't know. Like, even way back in Generation 1, definitely by Generation 2, people were kind of wanting that dark element of Pokemon because they were thinking like, oh man, what would this world like? The world would be kind of terrifying, and there's so many other ways this could go. Not saying that you always need a dark side of everything, but like the setup was there, and they even hinted at it with some of their Pokédex entries. So about this interview. Well, that's coming up May 17th. I haven't reached out to her. I don't know if I will. Sebi Webbs, I didn't hear nothing back from. I got Rose coming up. That's next week, I think, right? 24th? That will be next Friday. We'll be talking, so I need some questions for her. I have some. I don't know how willing she's going to be to get into some of them. Because the publishing industry, we're gonna, big gear shift. Publishing industry, the writing industry, it's bad. It's bad. And I learned yesterday. Well, I had heard this a couple weeks ago, and I went to actually look into it. Penguin Random House, you know, one of the big 5 publishers, right? In Canada. Penguin Random House of Canada, specifically. They said, and they are set up to where what do they call that? Non-agent, since when you are not represented by anybody and you don't have an agent, when you just open door policy and send your story in, which is, you know, how publishing has worked for a very long time. You just send it in, that's when people have to read, you know, 1,000 stories a day when they just read one paragraph and then go in the bin. So whatever you want to call that, open door, that is no longer open unless you are of the LGBT family or a person of color. Like that is in their guidelines. So I can't apply. Straight white dudes are not allowed in unless you are represented by another company or you have an agent. So that's something I don't know if she wants to get into because she is, or I'm sorry, if it's the LGBT family, person of color, and I think women could still get in. Maybe not. Maybe not. But like, that is a direction many companies have taken, whether they're official or saying it or not. So I don't know. It would be interesting to see this lady I'm going to interview because she's a full-time writer and be like, hey, you know, as a woman, have you know, how different has it looked for you or been for you? But it's kind of an unfair question too, because it's like, well, what does she have to compare that to? She hasn't written as a man, so you're white but Latino, but more important by it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That you can get in. You just have to say I am this, and then they will take and read your manuscript. And other places have not said it directly, where they're like, we're looking to promote and publish this, which is the corporate way of saying we don't want this other stuff. Discrimination in the name of non-discrimination is pretty wild. And that's the thing. It's like, okay, we're going to fight racism and sexism with racism and sexism? Is that how it works? Mewtwo Strikes Back is peak. 2000 was pretty great. Pokemon Lucario was good. The last great one was Pokemon Heroes. I haven't seen any Pokemon movie other than the first one, I think. That's just kind of racist to me. I mean, it is. It's just when they say that, like, if you say, "Hey, we're not accepting whatever because of color or orientation or ethnicity or whatever," it's like, sorry, man, that's racist or sexist, you know, whatever you want to say. Get reviews, and y'all gonna have different bathrooms for different races. I wouldn't doubt it. And you know what would be hilarious is if we had different water fountains for different people. Just come full circle. That's what we're gonna do, man. Give it time. Oh, but like I said, that might be, I don't know if she wants to get into that or not, because like I said, she doesn't like have the other experience. Like I can sit here and say, yeah, it's super unfair as a regular white dude, but also another thing that has happened in the industry, the employment, like all the agents and the editors and stuff, that has drastically shifted. It is now 80% female, which has a bias on what gets accepted and rejected. So it's a bad time to be a dude in the writing world, put it that way. And I've heard, I can't confirm, but I've heard people say like they've submitted stuff under a different name and the ruse that they're of a certain orientation and everything, and they just get fast-tracked through. It's like, wow, if that's true, that's bad. That's real bad. I mean, I worked for a company. They sent out a company email that just straight up said, we're looking to promote women into management. And it's like, well, screw me, I guess. You know? Wow. Bold. I don't get it. I don't get how that's supposed to balance anything. When you're actively rejecting people solely based off things they have no control over. And I acknowledge that happened for a long time, and that's what people were doing, but doing it in the opposite direction doesn't make it okay. It'd be one thing to prioritize groups who are underrepresented and all, but excluding people entirely based on what you're born as. Yeah, that's the thing. We used to discriminate in basis of social class in Chile. That's why we were native black Chileans. They were poor and we mingled and they got assimilated into not being here anymore. So, yeah, like when you're trying to, it's cool that you want to take a group that doesn't get a lot of representation and lift them up. We weren't racist, we were classists. It's nice that you want to do that. Now, we all know corporate isn't doing that out of the nicest of their hearts, right? This all has to do with investments. And when you're hitting these certain, I forget what you call it. It's some kind, it's basically a diversity score. When you hit that metric, you're more appealing to whatever, which gets more investors to invest in your company. And that's the name of the game, right? Money. So, and I will say a lot of companies are feeling the backlash of this finally. Like it is starting to come back on them, but they still got a long way to go. And I'll be honest, like I don't know what the answer is. If you want to take a minority and lift it up, I don't know how you do that without excluding a bunch of other people. But when you exclude a bunch of people, or just when you exclude one person based off something they have no control over, that's kind of messed up. On their way to excluding half the clients, options, and consumers. Yeah, that's the thing. It's effectively compensatory for it being done against them when it is done by law. Yes. I tell you what, about 2,000 years ago, this guy said, treat others how you want to be treated. Pretty solid advice. You could make a I'm telling you, right? That's just really hard for some people to do, it seems like. Man, it's wild. I don't get it. And that's the other thing too, like, you want to lift a minority, cool. From a business perspective, that doesn't seem like a solid business strategy. If you look at Disney, it's like, okay, there was this loud minority audience. And when I say minority, I mean a minority opinion, not like certain ethnicity or orientation. I just mean like the less common opinion. You're like, oh, well, we like this type of writing and story. Well, Disney tried to appeal to that, and it's like, well, yeah, when you sink everything into what 5% of your audience wants, you're not going to get a big return on your investment. I'd say you're going to get about 5%. You know? So I don't know what the business plan there is, but I guess, you know, if you do that, then you get the investors, it doesn't matter. I don't know. It's over my head. The modern audience, yeah. The modern audience is a mysterious beast, right? Who are they? Where are they? And what are they? But It's something. It's the girl boss. I don't know who's in charge of the writing anymore of like big name studios. I was watching I tried to watch a Resident Evil 8 playthrough last night. Let me see if I can just pull it up here. Resident Evil 8 playthrough. Actually, I'm on the wrong thing. Hang on. Let me stop the music. Boy, I gotta... Let's see. YouTube. It should just be in my history. All right. Let's watch some YouTube. Hey, look, there's I'm live. Did you see that? How are we gonna do this? Let's do. Whoop. If I tuck it over here, put you guys over here, I'll leave y'all right there. Okay. Culture is a beautiful thing, ain't it? Sure is. My papa told me we all bleed red, so the only real difference between all of us is culture. Trying to look up to confirm the random penguin, but particularly enough I seem to only be seeing the story commented on by tag walks. Yeah, see, and that's the other part, right? It's hard to get to the bottom of those things. Where did I find it? It was just like a list. It was like some LGBT affirming site that was like, hey, here's all these places you can submit stuff to and their guidelines. And that was just like one line of it. That's how I ended up finding it out. But anyway, this is what I was gonna say. Like, well, that was gross. Like Resident Evil, it's super cool, but there's these weird little mistakes or decisions, we will say. Like, can I fast forward? So like, you got this girl, and they did a cool job of introducing this boss. Like, he's clearly the boss walking around, boom, 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 big footsteps. This girl never would have been hired by the FBI. Like, I'm all for the weak character who's like vastly unequipped to go on this journey.
My office.
Coming.
And you know, the voice actress is killing it. She's crushing it. This person never would have been an FBI agent. Like, they just wouldn't. And then this part.
We found another. Now I need a good tech.
Right here.
I need your eyes on the crime scene.
Later, Orc Man.
The Renwood Hotel. Look.
Right here.
I know that's where your mother was murdered. And I know it'll be upsetting for you. Alyssa died 8 years ago.
No boss would treat you this way. Like, especially not at the FBI. They'd be like, hey, I know this is a sensitive topic, but, you know, we really need you to do this. They wouldn't have done. He would have been like, hey, you need to go to this place. You need to do this. Are you going to be all right? Or, you know, or is your past here going to cause problems? And if you wanted to show him as a, like, firm but really good boss, he could do that delivery. Like, hey, I need you to go here. I need you to do this. I know you got this going on here, but try not to let it interfere with your work. And then she's like, okay, you know, and he comes across as this huge dick. And then right as he slides the thing across, she goes to take it. He holds it and he says, take the time you need because I want it done right. So that's telling him, like, or telling her, like, you need to do your job, but I understand at the same time. So, like, there's that understanding. So maybe not take the time you need, but like, go slow and make sure it's done right. But also, you notice, and maybe this is explained more, but this constant looking down she does.
That fear head on. Whole building's condemned. Word is that
Let's see. She's constantly doing that. Like, she's so scared she can't look at anybody in the face. And it's like, she never would have made it past the psych evaluation if she was that messed up. Like, I get story-wise, like, it's there. But see, that's the thing. It's like, okay, these are very basic mistakes that can be fixed in your storytelling and world building. And why you don't do it, I don't know. But what real this has nothing to do with the story. This is just a weird game decision. Person of interest. When you're playing as her, it's more like the old school Resident Evil. Every zombie is very dangerous, and then you play as Leon, and you're just like kicking zombies and everything. Yeah. It's like, what are you doing? Do the roundhouse kick. It's like total game play shift. It's so weird. Nepotism is the only way she would have entered. And maybe that's what happened. Like I said, I'm only made it like an hour in, if that. All things, yeah, her character, that's the thing, like, her character is fine, and I like the fact, like, oh, we have this not professional this time, like, it's somebody kind of weak and super scared, and like, she's always like breathing real heavy and everything. It's like, that's neat. But the way you got her in there, and also just like this whole thing was kind of weird. Yeah, also this cop never would have let her in. The way she was acting. But like, how much of this is not guarded by anybody? That was weird. It's like, that doesn't make any sense. Hunting for hours at work. See you later, man. Americans use Chile as a training ground from time to time. My dad has talked to DA agents, hard people, most are assholes, but understandable. Yeah. With all the scandals and political corruption, I've lost a lot of assumptions that any prestigious group is actually going to... Well, there is that. But see, you want your story to escape all that, right? Oh, man. The FBI has analysts too, but why would they be sent? See, and that's the other thing, like, there's ways you can explain this. It's like, okay, she could be this, nepotism, or she could just be an analyst who never got full training, right? I still don't think they ever would have let her in with a psych eval as bad as hers, but the series of events doesn't line up. So there's definitely ways you could have had this character in here. Like I said, I haven't seen the whole story, but like she has some history with this place, so she could have just been an obsessed person since her mom got murdered and been trying to figure things out. And then came back here on her own. I mean, it's completely unguarded, so why not? I did get a trip out of the flashback when this was... Where is it?
Yes, I want to report a murder at a hotel. I'm gonna throw up.
Yeah, that's pretty good though. I like that. Did she?
No, we need to find a...
Yeah, that's where she does. Well, it was when she puts the thing behind the painting.
Calling the police. No, don't call. No murder. Hello. Yes, I want to report.
I gotta find it, and then I'm probably gonna stop streaming because I've been here forever.
Hurry, please. The police are on their way. Oh my god. Mom, I feel like I'm gonna throw up.
Yeah, you're gonna throw up. We know.
Grace, look at me. Grab my hands. And out. Breathe in. And out. Oh, Grace. Please know that you are my hope. Never.
Blah, blah, blah. Where is it? Do the thing.
Mom, I'm scared.
No, we need to find a way out of here.
But we don't have any of our cell
We
phones.
can come back for it later, Grace.
I don't know.
Well, good lord. She can't do it when she's dead. Anyway, I don't know. She puts all that stuff behind the painting. It's very obvious what she does. She slides it back there, and then whatever her name is, the main character you play as, she's like, "What did you hide behind that painting, Mom?" It's like, oh my gosh, do we really have to focus that hard on it? It's like, it's very obvious she put it there. I also don't understand why it was there for 9 years and she's just now getting it when she gets back here. Like I said, it just seems like we're skipping a lot of steps. 7 is my favorite of my modern one of the modern ones. Had a great gradual shift from pure horror to action horror. I don't actually play Resident Evil games. I just find the story pretty interesting. She had been extremely competent in the past, but got shook up. I guess I could understand that too, but this doesn't seem to be. No, my understanding is like she was kind of a kid when the murder happened and then somehow got on board with the FBI. I don't know. What kind of character fits this story is always a good question to ask. One of the point of view characters, Chronicles of the Whim Warband, is Victor Hornweibel. Makes sense. A warband would have one. Yeah. That's the thing. Like I said, she could have just been obsessed since her mom got murdered there, but then like there was no reason for 9 years the thing her mom put behind the painting to stay there that long, and like it's already pretty weak. And I don't know which Resident Evil game it was. I think it was a remake of an older one, because yeah, Nemesis was walking around. I watched the playthrough of that one just because it was so funny. There was no commentary. The game was just that bad. Jill's character made no sense. It's just like, what are you doing? Anyway. I'm going to bounce because I've been on here forever. I messed up my cropping on my thing now. Worm and Hornweibel is the guy that manages the relationship between the camp followers and the men-at-arms. Yeah, that makes sense. Excuse me. I'm going to bounce because I really got to go to the bathroom and I'm hungry. And technically I'm supposed to have some stuff ready for the editor tomorrow that I don't have ready. I got to go put some medicine on my arms too, the itchy. So I'll be back here tomorrow though. Tomorrow evening. Because my normal game night's not happening this week. So y'all have fun. And I will see you around if I can find the stop streaming button. I think it's right here.